Welcome in to a Wednesday edition of the Jordy Culotta Show, live, powered and driven by Go Chevrolet. Shout out to Go Chevrolet here on this Wednesday morning. We got a jam-packed show for you. We'll talk to Shea Dixon coming up at 8:30 this morning. Then Megan Making Money will be here at 8:45. We got a text in to both Ron Higgins and Will Wade. Both corners. We'll see who responds first. As last night, Higgins walked into a Will Wade trap and gave us one of the best sound bites that Wade has produced this season. We'll talk all about it here on the Jordy Culotta Show. We'll talk about LSU Bama last night. Boys had a watch party over here at the spot that looked really good. The purple carpet is blank.
A lot of compliments.
Good eye, Katie.
Yes.
Good eye there.
I think you might have like a talent that you don't know about.
I know
Interior
about
design?
Yeah, do you know? No, I'm like, can you see like 4-leaf clovers without really looking? Like I've heard that people can do this.
No, but I do like to design stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, but thanks.
Yeah.
Speaking of Go Chevrolet, did you see our boy Lee Carney front and center
did I
at the
see
game
Lee
last
Carney?
night? Right there behind the
Good
bench.
Lord.
I was like,
I thought he was drawing up the plays.
David goes, I have a meeting with him at 10 in the morning. Is he going to be back? And I was like,
No.
Yeah, he'll be
Yeah,
back.
he'll be back. He flew with the
chartered
team.
a plane. Come on.
Him, Piazza, Fife, saw all the heavy hitters
I
back
saw
there.
His kid, guys. Yeah.
all of them
Everybody
back
was
there. Good seats last night for the
Good seats.
boosters as they were in the huddle last night with the
Yeah.
team. We will talk all about this LSU Bama game coming up here in the first hour today. And like I said, we could hear from both Will Wade and Ron Higgins before we get out of here at 9 a.m. We're definitely going to hear from Shea Dixon and Megan Making Money in the second hour. Katie is here. Matuk is here. Second show of Mic'd Up airing yesterday as Mikey and the crew, Jared Mitchell, back in.
Back to co-host, dude.
Pull it in, bro. Pull it in.
Sibilance.
But yesterday, a good conversation with Greg Graber that Lloyd actually jinxed Will Wade on the technical foul.
Happy to do
yeah,
it.
he did.
Happy to
He
do
did.
it.
My plus four hit on LSU. And my
Yeah, they
over
did.
My over did not. So 1-1. I'll take it.
And Mic'd Up will be back Monday.
Monday
11 a.m.
and Wednesdays until
Yeah.
I'm gone.
Love it,
until I'm
bro.
playing. Then it'll just be Mondays, and then we'll see what happens.
It has been
Could be more. Who
yeah,
knows?
it's been awesome. And
good.
today's Thursday. I keep saying it's Wednesday.
I know. I do
Love
too.
that.
It is
Love
fun
that.
when you make that mistake.
Big
So
cold front coming too. Getting
Yes.
very
rain all night.
Lord.
It's tough to get out of bed this
You
morning.
get hit by a car out there.
Tough to get out. Yeah.
It's
go
weird
to
when
Dallas
the
this
high
weekend.
is at 5 a.m. and then it's just dropping throughout the day.
Sweet.
That freaks me out.
Great. Have you seen the video of the news reporter in West Virginia get hit by the car on live television?
No.
It's the second time it's ever happened to her.
her?
To her.
Second time it's happened to her.
To her, and
thought you were
she
gonna say ever.
and she clarifies that like while she's on the ground rolling around,
No.
They're trying to fix the camera.
and she's like
again.
trying to. I mean, like Tori, the news lady that we are going to highlight at some point over the show, and Lloyd, we got to play the clip.
Absolutely.
we got to play the
But
clip.
she's okay.
She's fine. She gets up. She finishes the report. It's her last assignment for this television statement for station.
Somebody did it on purpose.
And then this guy in the studio, Tom, I mean,
Tom did
never
not.
blinks,
Didn't
never
give a
asks
shit.
if she's okay.
No.
Just really kind of wants, he almost kind of goes like straight news reporter on her.
He
and is
reset
like,
the segment.
yeah, he like resets the deal. He's like, so Tori, were you hit up high or down low? And she's like, Tom, I've got no idea. My life just flashed before my eyes.
Oh my god.
I mean, can you cut me some slack?
Give me 1
What?
second.
She's lucky the
Jesus.
car didn't roll over her.
I know.
Because like the way she fell, like
And
she,
she
just,
gets
fell.
drilled.
Yeah, she got hit hard.
I mean, she knocks the camera over, and like the camera catches her face, like when she gets hit. It's
That's classic.
Unreal. I mean,
I'm
it
glad
is,
she's okay.
Where's
so
the
we can
station?
laugh.
Where is it at?
Huntington, West Virginia.
Yeah, Dunbar.
Yeah, right.
Dang.
Oh, play and see
Can
what
we
happens.
play it now?
Let's
Yeah,
see.
right. Like,
I
I
have
mean,
to
you have
see
got
this.
to see this. I mean, we might as well just get to it now before we dive into
We
the
might
muck
as
of
well.
LSU and
This
Alabama
is-
basketball from
This
last
is essentially the Culotta show at 6:58 every morning.
Yes,
Like
it
this
is.
is what it feels
night.
like.
We're here. We're live.
Are you okay?
Boom!
No.
We just got knocked down by an 18-wheeler. This video is amazing. I mean, dude, she gets drilled.
Drilled.
She gets drilled.
Do you feel like someone did it on purpose?
No, I feel like somebody was texting.
Oh.
I mean, I feel like somebody's like not paying attention. Check out Tom in the studio with his bug eyes.
What
was
is the deal
bugging.
with
Tori,
his eyes?
look, boom!
Into the camera, dude.
I mean, look at Tom.
Tom.
No, are you okay? Okay, Tori. When you're race set here, we're live in the WSAZ.
How's the weather out there?
Tom, A little sympathy, you prick.
I mean, how scary. Just the camera laying on his side the whole time.
Wow.
He doesn't even know.
Wow. This guy.
I'll play a little of the audio. I don't know if that's.
How does he not freak out?
Oh, look at his eye. Look at Tom.
He just.
What's going on? Look at Tori. Look at Tori.
Ma'am, you are so sweet and you are.
She's being nice to the driver.
You know, oh Lord.
So
Lloyd, you gotta rewind.
This guy stinks.
Lloyd, you gotta rewind it from the top.
She's like out of breath.
Watch this. Yeah, watch this. Watch when she gets to the ground, how she starts explaining that she's been hit before. Boom! Oh!
I just got hit by a car, but I'm okay. I just got hit by a car, but I'm okay.
Hey, look at Tom. Look at Tom.
What's she saying?
We're still on live TV, Tori.
That's live TV for you. It's all good. I actually got hit by a car in college too, just like that. Wow. I'm okay. You're okay.
Look, wow.
Maybe you should stop putting yourself in those.
This is
you gonna blame her?
No.
It's
Look at Tom.
we're good, Tim.
Are you sure you're okay, Tom?
Tom is a dick.
So Tom, okay.
Oh my
It's
god.
all good.
He acts like it's embarrassing. that
Tom's
it
always thinking
happened.
about the clock. He's like, we gotta
Yeah.
get out of this segment.
Look.
Last week on the job, and I think this would happen.
So you were bumped down low, Tori, or were you hit up?
No, Tom, I was hit by a car. You prick.
Were you not watching the screen, Tom?
Did you know that I was bumped down lower on the high side?
She asking the driver.
Yeah.
I don't even know,
Tom,
Tim.
what an
I
idiot.
like just
Tim.
No, but he's Tom.
Oh, it's
It's
Tom?
TV and
Tom.
everything's okay. I thought I was in a safe spot, but clearly we might need to move the camera over a bit. So when we do that,
Look at him.
Now, just to set the stage, once again, Tori's in an area right now where there's been a water main break, so there are emergency vehicles around there. And a lot of times what we have seen
Tom,
in
shut up, Tom.
emergency
Tori's
vehicles.
like, this is my last day, dude. So, kind of hanging loose a little here.
She's just trying to pull it together
I
now.
mean-
people get distracted a little bit.
She's taking up for the driver.
Yeah, Tom
I love
stinks.
Tori. I want Tori on the show.
I'm off of Tom.
I want to get her, bro. She would be the get today. And then I want to get Tim on here, and I want to tell Tim how bad at his job he is.
God, what
Kind of like the referees last night in Tuscaloosa.
Oh,
These pricks, man.
Great segue.
I mean, are you kidding me? 25-10 foul discrepancy? And that may not tell the story, because there are some nights that you can go into the gym and there are teams that may be playing so polarizingly different that it may call for the game to be called last night. But LSU took 32 shots in the paint. And the referees are trying to tell you, me, everybody watching the game that they only got fouled 10 times and shot 15 free throws. Meanwhile, on the other side, Alabama shoots 34 three-pointers and goes to the free throw line 32 times. Get out of here. Something's up. And I'm not telling you that they're cheating LSU or they're after Will Wade, but the foul discrepancy against LSU the past couple of games is out of control. And last night, it was a joke. That was a joke. That was unbelievable. The foul, just the difference in the sides of the floor that the game was being called at that level. And for people that are bitching about LSU basketball this morning, you better pinch yourself and wake up. Are you kidding me? Without Xavier Pinson, without Darius Days on the road, and to lose that game the way they did and fight back the way they did, and you're not telling yourself, hey, man, we got a good team in Baton Rouge. Because when they're fully healthy, which they will be, Pinson's on his way back, and I don't think Days is worst case scenario, and he should be back in a limited time, or in he won't miss extended time. But you go full strength against Arkansas and Alabama like they played last night with the effort and energy, and you can still beat those teams and the referees. Because you nearly did it last night at three-quarter strength. I mean, that was embarrassing. That's embarrassing for the league office. And just like Will Wade said a couple of weeks ago, when we try to just kind of soft toss a shot out there, he doesn't fill out any paperwork. He doesn't do any reviews. He doesn't answer questions about the referees because it ain't never going to change. It's not going to do anything. It's not going to have any impact on how the next game is called. And sure, I think that there is a bias against Will Wade, both at the NCAA office, the SEC office, the officiating crew. I think they're all out to get him. But he'll never use that as an excuse. He'll never say that out loud. But for his team to dominate the game in the paint like they did last night and take only 15 free throws and get called fouls on 10 times compared to Alabama shooting 34 three-pointers and LSU getting called for 25 fouls is a joke. That is embarrassing at that level. During the first half last night, I was coaching a 5th grade basketball team. That's embarrassing for those officials if the numbers were like that. Forget at an SEC level when you've got 2 top 25 teams. I know Alabama's not ranked, but they'll be in the tournament and they'll be a problem. With 2 top 25 ranked teams on the same floor, fighting for SEC power, fighting for postseason ranking, and that happens again? Like they didn't look at the Arkansas game and say, hey, fellas, look, I mean, the foul discrepancy between, LSU and what's up? And still Will Wade this morning's not going to wake up and make an excuse. The soundbite last night with him and Higgins was just gold. I mean, good Lord, gold. And we got a text into both Higgins and Wade. Late flight last night back from Tuscaloosa, so if Willie wakes up before we get out of here at 9 a.m., hopefully we can talk to him soon as Higgins wakes up, and we'll see if he can join us. But I'd love to talk to them both about, just the team and the outlook because, LSU's fine. Really. They got some stuff they got to fix. 20 turnovers last night ain't going to cut it. But, when you're missing your point guard, the ball's going to be played loose. And Gaines has played well over this stretch with Pinson out, but he's not your primary point guard. And that responsibility for him is too heavy right now. And it really shows the value of Xavier Pinson. Because the turnover number has bloated over the last 3 games, and I don't think it's a coincidence that Pinson has not been in the lineup. And then say what we will about Darius Days, and I was critical of him after the Arkansas game when we got in here on Monday. But you've got to have his stability and personality on the floor in a road environment where you're fighting back and forth like that, just punching back and forth with a heavyweight team. You need your senior leader, especially when your other senior leader in Pinson is watching from the bench in street clothes. You need his presence on the floor. You surely could have used him around the rim with the rebounding last night. LSU suffered in that category last night. Efton Reed in foul trouble again. But the referees being the storyline against that game last night is absolutely embarrassing, and I wish that something would come from it. But after really hearing Wade give that explanation a couple of days ago, a couple of weeks ago, right here, doesn't that leave you really feeling helpless? Doesn't it really feel you leaving leave you feeling like when you take to court Saturday in Tennessee, you're going to have to fight the stripes again too? Not only are you going to have to beat Barnes and the Volunteers, you have to beat the referees. And if you think it's bad in the SEC, wait till they get to the postseason tournament with the NCAA on the tournament logo. Because we can say it. Will would never say it. Bill Armstrong, his assistant coach, Kevin Nickelberry, Tasman Mitchell would never say it. But we can say it. They're all out to get Wade. They all can't stand Wade. They all hate how he operates. And they're doing all they can to try and screw with him. And that's my opinion. But watch the game. Look at the rankings. Listen to the talking heads. Watch the officials. Hell, look at his own administration. I'm telling you right now, Clemson is changing athletic directors. Dan Radakovich has accepted the Miami job to be the athletic director. There is a lot of talk around Clemson that they're coming after Will Wade.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
That's where he started.
Yeah.
That's where he graduated from. That's where he spent a lot of time and cut his teeth as a coach. And Clemson really doesn't care about their basketball program, but they've got enough money coming in to where if all it really takes is a practice facility with a weight room, pay him $3 million and give him his facilities. He's going to clean up the portal. So all this stuff that we've talked about, all this stuff that we've said is a potential threat, is all going to start to bubble here with Wade. People know that he is a dominant coach, man. I loved his reaction last night on the sideline. I loved him picking up that iPad and checking if that ball was pinned on the glass. Hold these sons of bitches accountable, man.
That was such a bad call. Oh my God,
Yeah.
that was such an obvious call. I don't get it.
It was.
I thought he was going to get ejected. I think he was trying to get ejected.
I think he was too. I said it on the watch party. I thought he was trying so much to rally his team, and then you saw the soundbite that he provided afterwards, where it was just, look, man, you got to stand up for your squad. You know what I mean? They have our back out there. We have to show that we have their back on the sidelines, and this can't continue to happen. You know how hard it is to coach a game where you got to not only fight Alabama, but you got to fight the crew that's governing the game?
Can't imagine.
I mean, like, how much that would be just that is a fight in mud. Like, I mean, like you're in a boxing ring with your hands behind your back. I mean, it's just, good Lord, 25-10 foul discrepancy. And LSU dominates the paint, and Alabama shoots 34 3-pointers. Like, I'm telling you, anybody who's really concerned about this LSU basketball team, I mean, put that energy somewhere else. LSU basketball is going to be fine when they're at full strength. When Xavier Pinson is back and Darius Days is healthy, and they take the floor with a much more stronger Sharif O'Neal, who's getting quality minutes. Alex Fudge is gaining quality minutes. Eric Gaines getting very positive minutes. That's only going to make them better and harden them up for a late February, early March push. Is going to have this team right at the right time, in my opinion. But when you got to take the floor and battle your opponent and battle the officials, man, that's a helpless, hard, tough. It's a tough way to prepare.
So do you think that's where the blame lies, is with the officials?
I'm not totally blaming the officials. LSU had 20 turnovers. LSU still missed open shots. LSU missed free throws again on the road. You can't miss opportunities like that when they're given to you. I mean, you look at the point differential in that game, it comes down to a couple of possessions of making shots, making free throws, and you're still in it. So LSU still had their chances with as much that they had to compete against, right? I mean, like, they still had Alabama on the ropes within a minute left in that game, even with all that they had to deal with. Players being knocked out, players not being available, referees and the officiating, missing shots. I mean, all of that stuff kind of tumbled into one storyline, and still with a minute left to play, you got a shot. I mean, when he missed that second free throw, I said LSU's gonna win. They gonna win the game.
That's what I'm wondering about, is how long can you do this? If this is going to be the test case for LSU basketball going forward, it's not just this game. It's been the past 3 away games. Like, I hate the blame the official conversation.
Me too.
Yeah.
But
Me
I mean,
too,
at this
man.
point, there's no bigger disparity than what you saw last night. A team that leads the league, leads the country in 3 points taken, is going to be in the double bonus with 12 minutes left. Like, that's just not the way that basketball is supposed to be. That's not how it's officiated. Because if you're LSU and you're grinding down in the paint and you're supposed to be getting calls down there. That's where fouls happen. And it's Alabama getting calls that are I mean, to the point where Will Wade is, like you said, grabbing an iPad during the game. It's like, I have to know. I have to know if I was wrong or right.
Yeah.
And then he doesn't even care at the end of it when he gets on to Ron, because he's like, Ron, all right, you got me, fine. The way he's in that chair, just back and forth, and then, all right, fine, you got me. Here, look, it was Ron.
Yeah.
Like, you can see that finally he's like, it's at a tipping point for him, and he doesn't want to have to act like
when
that.
he's rubbing
like,
his eye, I'm
he's
like,
just-
oh my God, he's about to explode.
Yeah, he's just waiting for Ron to finish
Yeah,
the question
he's
because you already got him, Ron.
Did it look like that, Ron?
Really?
Yeah, it looked like it, I bet, because it was, Ron. I mean, like,
And it's not even just that.
and you can hear Ron kind of like, you're welcome.
Yeah,
You know
here
what
you
I
go.
mean? Like, go ahead, man. Hold
Here's
the
the
pillow.
ball, here's the
yeah,
tee,
right.
and
Hold
you
the pillow.
swing.
We are in therapy. Scream it.
Yeah.
Yell it, coach. What's a follow-up that I can get at you even more? You know what I mean? Ron, he's been
At
around
home
the
life.
circle, right? I
Yeah.
mean, like, exactly.
How your kids doing?
Right.
The block charge call in college is
Oof.
the most outrageous thing I've ever. They don't know what the fuck they're doing.
They don't.
Sorry,
they don't
I'm
know.
sorry.
They don't know what they're
But
looking
they
at.
don't know what they're
know
doing.
Not it
looking at. This
yet.
guy's living in an 11 a.m. world now,
Yeah.
man.
That's right. Watch
yeah,
out.
right. He's just surfing.
They have no idea.
No clue.
Like Efton Reed's 7 feet tall. He didn't lower his shoulder. Didn't do anything. The guy flopped and fell, and Efton Reed fell on top of him, and that's a charge.
I've never seen the flop call more called in college basketball this season, and I've seen more on Efton not called than any other
Yes.
player in the sport. Now, I know I watch LSU basketball primarily, and Efton's still got to become more disciplined, and I think anything that has shown is that, look, man, he's going to come back. You know, he needs the strength. He needs to get in the weight room. Text coming in from Higo. Yes, sir, let's go. Absolutely. Nice. Ron Higgins is going to join us here in a couple of minutes. Daily, we're brought to you by GoFlow. Katie and I were there
Thank you,
yesterday
Ron.
getting energized, and it was awesome. They actually have a new promo code over at GoFlow that they are offering right now. All you got to do is mention the Jordy Culotta Show. If you mention Jordy Culotta Show, you get 15% off of your first treatment over at GoFlow. So check it out, GEAUX. Flow.com, GEAUX, Flow.com is where you can check them out on online. GoFlow IV.
I had
Baton
so many
Rouge.
people asking me after
I
I
know.
posted. I felt so bad. They're like, "What do you and Jordy get? When should I go?" And I was like, "I wish I could help. I need a promo code. I want to send you there, and I feel bad sending you there empty-handed." So, mention Jordy Culotta Show, 15% off.
Does it
yes,
work for staff too?
absolutely.
There we go.
Absolutely. You
Right,
can finally
all
get in.
right. Yeah, man.
Finally get you in.
Yeah, Lloyd, go do a promo, do the Dog and Tony show. All right, you can't go back.
All right, now get out of here.
Yeah,
Take the
yeah.
camera and leave. Thanks, buddy. Thank you.
That was just that was water we put in. You
yeah.
didn't get anything good.
GoFlow
Little air.
IV. GoFlow IV. Travis LeBlanc, stop dogging Efton. Nobody's dogging Efton, but this is the first time in Efton's life where he's been not pushed around, but he's not the strongest dude on the court. Right? I mean, think about Efton's size and dominance that he is coming from, both when he was in high school in Virginia and in IMG Academy down in Florida. He ran through competition. I mean, really. Now, I mean, he's just gotten on a floor and into a game where, hey, man, the next guy is either stronger than you or a little bit more skilled than you. He may be a little bit more experienced than you. And I think this is really great for the evolution of Efton Reed. Like, I mean, it's going to be very beneficial for him down the road to go through the experiences that he is going through right now. It's frustrating. It is sometimes maddening. It is sometimes head-scratching. It is sometimes you want to pull your hair out. But all in all, you're getting these experiences, and he's getting this chance to really refine his game. And he's got to go through getting his ass kicked a little bit. Really. I mean, this is probably the first time in his life. I was here. Matuk was telling a story yesterday. I think we had somebody come through here, and they were asking Matuk about the difference between high school ball and going to pro or coming to college. And Matuk was explaining that he was such an advocate for college baseball because he needed to get his ass kicked. That had never happened to him in his life. It's probably the same thing that's going on with Efton Reed right now. He's probably waking up and thinking, man, I've never woke up and thought I was not the best player on the floor, or I didn't dominate the game for an extended amount of time.
And if you treat it the right
that's
way,
humbling in the moment.
if you treat it
But
the
once
right,
you get out of it, right? I mean,
if you treat it the right way, it's the most beneficial thing you can have. But if you go there and you're not open to the fact that, like, hey, it's okay to struggle, and you feel like whether you're embarrassed or you're letting people down, like if you let those thoughts creep in and you let it take away your confidence, it's detrimental. But I think that's what Will does so well with Efton is like, hey, dude, you're gonna be in the NBA. Mm-hmm. it's going to take some time. Everybody's on a different path. Everybody has a different route to their goal. Some guys, it takes them, they're ready right away. Some guys, it takes them 2 years. Some guys, it takes them 6 years. But everybody has their own path. And I think he's going to be great. It's just, he just needs to learn. He didn't start playing basketball till later on in his life, right? Like, it took him a little while to kind of get onto the field. So I think he's going to be fine. He just needs to beef up and have some experience.
But this is what Will Wade's talked about. Like, I keep saying this because Will Wade keeps saying it, so I'm going to trust him when it comes to talking about his own basketball team. But this isn't the year that everybody should be riled up the way they are. It's next year and the year after that, because Efton Reed isn't a one and done. He's a 2-year player, 3-year player. Brandon Murray's not a one and done. He's a 2-year player. And the guys that they're going to bring in, you're going to have Adam Miller back. You're going to have.
How pure was that 3 Murray hitting from the bench?
Dude, he's got.
They need to give the ball more.
Woo!
He need to get him the ball.
He's got that little pocket.
More.
He's got that little shooter's pocket.
And
where
he can shoot off the dribble, off of screens, off of, like, he has a little fade.
Put up a little 15-footer. I thought about you yesterday. He didn't cash it. That's why I don't shoot him, Mikey.
Yeah. But seriously, like, he has the ability to score. I mean, he scored, what, 15, 17 points last night? Like, he has the ability to score, and he has the ability to score from different spots on the court.
And he doesn't mind taking over. Like, he shot more than he's ever shot last night. And it was a hard.
They did it. 16. They designed to play to him.
Oh, he's the guy.
When they got him on one, not the guy, but he's a guy. They got him on on one side by himself, and he was able to get around to the goal to get the drive-in layup. And it's like they designed that for him.
Yeah,
and it's like that's what you need to do. Get him more opportunity.
At this point, that's who you're going to have to be able to run with, because there's nobody that stepped up that's going to be able to get you 20 a night. So if Brandon Murray's going to run and take that role, then you're just going to have to start drawing up plays for him and start letting him shoot 15-footers.
Tell you what, if Tari Easton can keep shooting threes like he shot yesterday,
great.
Another career high.
More though. Why?
He started him last night.
He had to.
Yeah, he had to. But why not? Why not start him every time?
Well, now I think it's starting to.
It's starting to be that time.
Yeah, I think it's about that. I think that
he needs that. He needs
the heater. The heater ran out. You have to move blackjack tables. Let's try a different spot.
Yeah. All good here.
Yep.
Yeah.
I get it. I mean, but there's an avenue if you can get both of them on the floor at the same time in the starting five, Tari Easton, Brandon Murray, and get them working off of each other. Get Xavier Pinson back.
Pinson's a big. I didn't realize Pinson was going to be as big. And I knew it was big, but then I was like, oh, we can. And you realized last night, like, okay, you need, Justice, he's not really ready yet, and like you don't want guys like Murray and Tari having to handle the ball as much as they had to handle the ball last night.
We go on Bluetooth. It's not hooking up.
Oh, well, Mikey just connected.
Let me disconnect. Let me disconnect. I'm sorry. We got 2 shows now. Let me get it.
All good.
Are you calling him now?
About to, yeah.
Y'all want a little trivia question while we wait?
Oh, absolutely.
What you got?
What percentage of deaths occur while the person is sleeping?
Ooh, 50%.
How much?
Ooh,
50.
I was going to go 60.
What are you saying?
50.
50?
Oh, it must be 15.
I'm like, what are you saying?
Wow. Savvy so deceptive.
Can you enunciate?
Yeah.
Wait, let me see your lanyard
It
over
is
there,
15.
dude.
You like that? 15. It must be
15.
15.
Wow,
See
I was
that?
going to say like 80.
Does that make you a little nervous?
No, that's
you were
how
going to say 80?
That's how you want to go, huh? Don't you want
Well,
to go
I
in your
mean,
sleep?
sure.
I thought more
you wanna
people.
go,
I
but-
thought older when you get. I think that happens more regularly. Like when you're older.
When
like
you're
you
older,
fall
yeah.
asleep
Just kind of
fast
die.
out.
Wait, is that what if you're like this, like sitting in the chair and you die? Are you falling asleep and you're dead?
Death?
Or are you just dying?
No, I
That's
think
a peaceful way to go, I
This is
assume.
like while the person is sleeping.
Okay.
So that
natural causes is what I'm thinking. Like,
Yeah.
That sounds.
can you
that's not
imagine just like, I
necessarily
think
while
I'm
you're
dying,
sleeping.
dude? And then you just go down.
I think about that sometimes. Like, what's that like?
I don't know.
Dude.
Somebody that may have a hit on him today could be Ron Higgins.
God, we got dark and weird
From
for a
Tiger
minute.
Detail, as our guy last night has been needling the bear of Will Wade, and last night he tipped him over as Wade provided one of the great sound bites that I think will live on for Wade here at his early basketball tenure at
Before he goes to
LSU.
Clemson.
But last night, Ron Higgins from Tiger Details joining us here. Higgo, good morning. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing good. You know what you're doing to Will Wade, don't you, Ron?
I just asked a question.
Just doing my job.
And I understand why he's angry.
Yeah.
But I also understand the way they play. It's almost hard for them not to foul.
Mm-hmm.
They play with such an aggressive style that it's hard to dial it back. And they do get a lot of needless fouls. and because they do, it kind of sets them up so they get in foul trouble because when they get called for fouls that aren't fouls. See what I'm saying?
Sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's their problem. But they can't play it any other way. That's their style. And for better or for worse, you got to roll with it. But if they could just cut it. I mean, Will's talked about this. We've had discussions. He gets aggravated when you're still on the foul problem. But I understand what they're doing. It's just that it's almost like the officials haven't caught up with it. I mean, if this was the NBA, they wouldn't get half those calls.
Uh-huh.
But in college, they call everything. And it's just I understand why he's aggravating. I really do. I mean, and they missed the goaltend, and that was the end. I mean, look, he's been on a fine, he's been simmering on this for the whole SEC. Every SEC game has had more than 20 fouls, and that's unbelievable. Mm-hmm. And finally, it came to a boil last night, and he blew up. And his team reacted in a good way, and they came back. But again, there was just a little spot right now where they got key injuries. They're trying to overcome foul troubles. They make the same mistakes every game. Their ball handling is turnovers are atrocious. Yeah, the guys will just lose their dribble in the middle of a move, and they make mistakes that kind of gets them in holes, and they try to dig out of them. It's a tough schedule. Everybody knew that. If they can just get through this next game, there's a good chance they'll lose at Tennessee. That'll be only the second time they've lost 3 games under Will. He's been there. But if they get through that, maybe they get some people healthy and get that back going again. But right now, it's just a tough spot, man. And it's a tough spot. But I understand, I understand his frustration. It's frustration watching it, but it's what you have to live with their style. That's the way they play.
It didn't look like it, Ron. Didn't look like it because it was.
I think so, Ron.
Goaltending, Ron. That was a great soundbite. Ron, what about Xavier Pinson during this stretch? Has the value been shown on him? Because I agree with you, the ball handling has to improve, and I think he makes you a better ball handling team when he's out there. How much value has he proven to this team since he's been away?
Well, I think there's a lot of value. I mean, he seems more comfortable with the ball in his hands for longer stretches than Eric Gaines does.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it shows the fact that this guy's been in the SEC for 4 years, and he's used to having the ball in his hands a lot, and he looks more comfortable with it. And Eric, I wouldn't say looks jittery, but it doesn't look comfortable a lot of times with Eric. And I think this comes from just a fact that you have a guy who's, this is his 4th year in the SEC versus a guy who is into his 2nd year and really hadn't played a lot of road games. And it kind of comes through. And Pinson, Pinson has turnovers, but for the most part, Pinson kind of gets him into an offense quicker.
Yeah.
And kind of directs guys to the right places quicker. Because this team has as we saw last night, I mean, as Will talked about, it has a tendency to stand around and watch while Gaines dribbles. He's trying to find, something he can get to for his shot. And I kind of agree a lot of times that this team is like, you don't know what the hell they're trying to run on offense. I mean, but I think a lot of times they just stand around. Maybe they have something called and people stand around and just watch. They got to get over that kind of stuff. Because a lot of times there's stuff that comes down to, well, we'll just run a high screen and roll and see what can work off of that. And on the back line, there's no movement. There's no screening on the back line. There's no movement back there. It's just like a high pick and roll. Let's see what we can get. And you've got to have more than that.
Higo, I don't want to sound like whiny little fan here or be bitching about LSU basketball, But when you talk about the LSU foul discrepancy, do you see, is there a bias against Wade from the officials? Do they call his teams differently? Do you, in your opinion?
I'll say this. I covered the NBA for a long time. When I was in Memphis covering the Grizzlies, and you kind of got to know how officials look at things.
Uh-huh. They're still humans. They're still human beings.
I'll say this. They don't like to be shown up, or they don't like to be, yelled at a lot. And as you said, they're human, and I think maybe subconsciously, I think a lot of times they might stick it to a coach. Yeah, I think they will never say that.
Sure.
No, we're fair. We try to be fair, and I'm sure they do. But it's human nature. You want to, sit a coach down, but I don't know how you sit a coach down if you keep making calls. But again, because look, as I said, I realize LSU's style kind of lends itself to fouls, but it's kind of the discrepancies are ridiculous. They're not even close.
Yeah, I mean 25-10 is inexplicable. That's
inexplicable.
They're
not even close.
Yeah, right.
But there's also this. When LSU gets on the foul line, there's a few times they get on there, they got to make foul shots.
That's true.
I mean, like last, you got to make them. You don't get there that much, but you got to make them. And I don't want to hear the excuse, well, we don't get the rhythm because we don't get in the foul line very much. I'm sorry, when you get on the foul line, you got to make your free throws, no matter how often or how less. But again, just look at the discrepancy. It does get a little bit ridiculous. But I mean, honestly, this will go real old school, but maybe Will should call Dolan Richardson and say, listen, tell me about your 40 minutes of hell. How did you press so much and create so many turnovers and not get called for so many fouls? Can you tell me?
Well,
because this is the only thing I can think comparable to it. There's two different eras of basketball, but it's the same premise. Let's just cause havoc out there and get turnovers and create offense. Back when Nolan did it with the 40 minutes of hell, back when I said this is ancient times for a lot of people. I realize that, but I covered it. Their national championship teams that era. They would press the hell out of people in a run and not getting very much foul trouble. And I don't know if the game is called more aggressively today, or most of these athletes are bigger and faster. It's more, every play is more physical, or referees think they have to control the play in every game where it doesn't get out of hand. But it's to the point now. I mean, this is the way LSU plays, and they've got to figure out a way how to foul less.
Yeah.
And I don't know. And again, if they can cut out the stupid fouls, maybe they can survive the fouls the officials call where you go, oh, come on, are you kidding me? If they can do that, maybe they can kind of turn this thing a little bit. Again, it's the stuff where a ball hitter blows past the guy. He just reaches out, tries to slap at the ball.
Sure.
Why?
Sure.
They're going to call a foul. If they see you slap down, they're going to call a foul. Well, if a guy gets a rebound, if he's got to secure a rebound, opposing player, they'll sit there and keep fighting with him, try to reach around and grab it out of his hand. If he's got it, he's got it. Get down court. This is where a lot of their fouls come from. But if they cut those out, then they have the leeway when officials make lousy calls. But you're not in foul trouble in a hurry. You stay in the game. So this is kind of like what LSU has to learn right now. Because I don't think the officiating is going to change. I really don't. I think they're going to keep whistling this stuff. And I don't think LSU is going to change their style. This is the way they play and the way they have to play. So somewhere it's got to find a happy medium for LSU.
Ron Higgins of Tiger Details, the man who has gotten Willie Wade to boil over at the press conference. I'm watching the SEC Network in our studio right now, and they are showing Wade rock back and forth in the chair, rubbing his eye, and you can read his lips saying, "You think it looks like that, Ron? Did you think it looks like it, Ron?" This is Ron Higgins joining us from Tiger Details. Have a great day. We will see you soon, Ronnie. Thank you, man.
All right, take care, guys. We'll see you.
All right, there is Ron Higgins checking in, and that is followed up by the Oh goodness gracious.
What now?
Oh my gosh.
Who's coming?
What happened?
Who's coming? What is it?
The lady that got hit by a car.
Do
She's on.
Do I need to read another trivia question?
Yeah, read one.
What? Another percentage one.
Here we go.
Here we
go.
Shuffle the
Here we
deck,
go.
dude.
I,
Here we
I'm,
go.
no.
Jeez.
I'm reading off
Big
of
math
one
show.
card. Not to shut up, Lloyd.
All right.
What percentage of sex toys are made in China?
Oh, all of them.
I go 100%.
Well, a lot in Buffalo, so 99%.
77%.
Mikey, it's 70%.
Mikey, you freak.
You're on fire with
We're going
percentages
to the
today.
casino
Get the casino.
Yeah, you got to go to the casino
Mikey,
tonight.
in Mikey's head, he's like, I know this is 70. I'm going to drop 77 on it.
Dude, check for the lanyard. Where's
Did
the
you
school
see the
lanyard?
guy? Are you looking
No,
at my
no.
77?
No.
Mikey.
I just thought it
Will
would be a
Wade,
weird
the
percentage.
LSU basketball team, still in Alabama, travel with
the weather?
with the
No.
travel with the weather and the plane and
Oh, how terrible.
my
That's so awkward. I bet they're all just hating life right now, right?
you guys should tell Ron to send Wade a text right now.
You think so, Ron?
Oh, my
How long do you think that
God.
text would be, Jesus?
Oof.
Where are they? They're not like on the plane, right?
No,
I think they're probably in the hotel room. But I mean, they were probably ready to get out of there
They
last
have to
night.
stay in Tuscaloosa.
I wonder if that means Lee Carney and them are still there.
Oh, dang.
Oh,
David's
man,
freaking
what
out
that
about his
mean,
meeting
David?
then. That's what you get for chartering your planes over there to Tuscaloosa. Getting stuck.
I guess I would say, don't PJs have a different
You're good.
Flight level.
But
Yeah,
basketball has a PJ too, though.
This isn't
Private
the PJ
aviation.
you're thinking about.
Yeah, I don't think
I
so.
mean, this is
Who's?
like
Who you talking
the
about?
LSU basketball.
No, I'm talking about Lee Carney.
Right.
Jordy saw
No,
that
I wrote. We flew private LSU like for baseball, so like I get where they're going.
Yeah.
Like they're just a normal plane. Just,
Sure.
But like
Well,
Lee Carney,
yeah,
and
for
them
the
are
Carneys
driving.
of the world. Yeah,
that's
they can cut through the
Lee
snow.
Carneys of the world.
Yeah, right.
de-ice this motherfucker. I got places to be.
Absolutely.
We just want Lloyd a used car over here.
G5.
Well, you
You're
saw
over
you
there
saw
flying
the Pat
private.
McAfee deal.
But how
He
they
got-
de-ice the plane?
They had to de-ice the plane, his private plane. Like he had a PJ going to the I think SmackDown or whatever it was, and they had to
Yeesh.
de-ice it, and they
You
had
do have to de-ice them, yeah.
yeah, but like it's easier to do it with a private plane with 5 people on it
Well,
than
yeah.
Nick Richard
having a deal.
confirming Lee Carney has made it back
There you go. See?
from Bama.
Boom.
De-ice.
Absolutely.
De-ice.
Get over to Nick Richard. You go Chevrolet. Go check our friend out over there at Go Express Auto Sales. Somebody's got to run the place while the others go watch basketball
They just
games
call
and
it plays
fly
in the
around the
huddle.
country. This guy.
Jordy saw him and he goes, well, look at Lee Carney. I guess he's not working today.
that's what David said. We have a meeting in the morning. What's he doing there?
I mean, I thought Carney was drawing up the plays. Is that a clipboard?
Hey, I love
a clipboard or popcorn?
I love that Alabama's courtside seats are like right there,
Right
not
there.
like LSU's underneath
Yeah,
the backboard.
no
I like that
doubt
they're on the
about it.
court.
Yeah,
Like
they're
that's
I'm
great.
telling you, LSU is
great.
behind the pack.
Yeah, I know.
Where?
Way behind the pack.
Where's LSU's courtside seats? What are
in
those?
the behind the basket, like by the basket.
Oh.
The Alabama's courtside are like on the court,
That's
like where
where
like
you
the
wanna
scores
be.
table would be and
Yeah,
stuff.
you want the entourage. Like, I could come out here and shoot a 3 if I want.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. Well,
LSU's
I mean, LSU they're on the court, but they're literally like right like underneath the goal. So like,
I know, but they're just north and south.
Yeah.
Not east and
Yeah,
west.
they're in the
Yeah,
end
yeah.
zones.
The whole
They're in
thing
the end
is
zones.
backwards at LSU for the basketball. Like, you
I
want to be
agree.
courtside.
Okay,
It's
I
not
want
underneath
to
the
ask
goal.
you all this question, though.
Is this trivia?
No, this is not trivia. This
70%.
is a real question.
77.
69.
69.
For the win!
Ding, ding, ding.
If things continue to trend this way and like two more away games are lost, do people start calling for him to get fired?
No. Katie, that's a Lloyd take.
Yeah, right. What is this, Mississippi State you think you're at?
Yeah, I mean, y'all not heard people talking about that already? I mean, of
No,
course,
nobody's
fans are
talking
always
about
gonna
it. Nobody's
say
talking
that.
about firing him.
the minority is always the minority.
the silent-
the silent.
the-
they're loudest.
Yeah.
They're
What
loudest.
does it take, though? What would it take
I mean,
what?
he's a perennial
for people
tournament
to
team.
start calling for him to get fired?
I mean, they would have to fall off the cliff for them to call.
Like,
for
not
his
make the
job.
tournament.
I mean,
Okay,
like, yeah,
next
like-
to go
question
full Dan
then.
Mullen.
Does he leave? What does it take for him to leave? Does Clemson reach out
Oh.
and they woo him?
Not
to
getting
go
a new
to
deal or
facilities?
getting any facilities probably would
Yeah.
make him leave.
Look, man, I think it means a lot to Will Wade to coach in the SEC. When you look around
Yeah.
and you see Calipari and you see Musselman and you see Buzz Williams and you see Nate Oates and you see Bruce Pearl and you see all the elite coaches within the industry really start. It's kind of like football. I mean, this
Yeah.
is where all the money is. This is where the facilities are. This is where the players are. You know, I mean, the SEC is going to put 7 teams into the tournament this year. I mean, I know that The Big 10 the Big 12 is having a big season, and the Big East. But I mean, this LSU program. I mean, do people remember what the basketball program was like before Will Wade?
Yeah, people remember.
Do they though? I mean, I'm asking a logical, sensible question. Well, I mean, if there are people that are legitimately calling for this guy's head, then you do not recall what it was like for the LSU basketball program before Will Wade.
But you start.
This is
winning.
the 6th straight class that Will Wade is going to pull a 5-star in. They are going to produce player after player what they have done and put guys into the league. Look at the guys playing in the league right now that have just been at LSU over the past couple of seasons. Nas Reed, Tremont Waters, guys like Cam Thomas are making impacts on NBA rosters. So they're developing guys, putting them into the pros, and they're right on the cusp of winning big. SEC tournament championship last season. All 4 years that he's been here, he's been a postseason team. Went to the NIT, been to the NCAA tournament. The following 3, I know that COVID canceled the tournament, but if the tournament's on, they're in. They're in.
Yeah.
They're in. This year they're trending around a 2 through 4 seed. I mean, like you got to get some real perspective on where LSU is coming from and what they're doing and how they're doing it. The facilities that they were in on Saturday at Tennessee. Google Tennessee's basketball facilities and come back to the chat and tell me what you see.
It's amazing.
I mean, they beat Kentucky and Tennessee in that week 2 weeks ago. Those are the top 2 facilities in the league. LSU is putting trash cans under the roof when it rains like it did last night to keep the water off the floor. And that's how they're competing, winning, and recruiting right now. I mean, Will Wade, does he need to develop his offensive prowess on that end of the floor? I mean, are we going to argue? His teams have averaged 85 points since he's been here. This is as down of an offensive team as they've had. And 2 weeks before the season started, he thought Adam Miller was going to give him 25 a night. And that makes you a totally different squad on the offensive end. Does the offense deserve criticism right now? Yeah, they need to be able to score in big moments. But last night, when you take Xavier Pinson and Darius Days off the floor, you have lost a ton of scoring power, particularly with Days. And you get into an environment on the road where you're a little clunky and Gaines is your point guard and Sharif's playing more minutes and Brandon Murray seeing his role expand in front of your eyes that he handled, which was a really good sign to see.
Dog.
Tari Eason's giving you another career high on the road, but you don't have that firepower and that depth to beat a team like Alabama when they're playing like they were at home last night. And you got to fight the officials too.
That's the bigger question, right? If it's going to continue like this for Will Wade, then don't you have to have a conversation inside the building? If he's going to be officiated like this and always be a marked man, then how far can you, in reality, actually get?
Right.
Because it's only going to get worse when you get to the NCAA tournament. Whenever he's the spotlight, you can only be so good.
At some point, it's going to go away.
Well, that's not really. I don't know.
It will not be
they
like
have
that.
honed in on him.
I understand.
really
I understand, but it's not. At some point, they are going to get exhausted. It's like, oh, this guy's not going away. I'm not saying it's going to get good.
No. I think
it's going to even out.
John Calipari dealt with this.
That's what I mean. Exactly.
John Calipari dealt with this. Rick Pitino dealt with this stuff.
As long as he's at LSU, that's not going to go away.
I think so. I think as he gets older and he ages, and there's going to be
Well,
a young.
Jesus.
There's going to be
the purgatory period.
I know. I mean, it's awful.
But college basketball is run by a bunch of old white men.
Oh, I know.
And now they're leaving because they see that the game is changing. NIL, transfer portal, guys like Willie Wade. And look, Will Wade in 5 years is going to have to deal with another Will Wade. That somebody comes in here at 33 and says, I'm going to get players like Will Wade's been getting players because I need to compete against Will Wade. And people are going to be like, what's this kid doing at Georgia? Wherever it may be.
But how much can he take before it breaks him? If the NCAA
He's
is constantly
I
riding
think
him,
he's fine.
I'm just saying. And then
He's
he
not
does
going
get an
anywhere.
offer from a Clemson, from somewhere with
But it's
amazing
not gonna
facilities
change-
and paying him.
yeah.
That's not going to change the way they referee him, though.
Right.
It's the same person. They're just going to referee him the same way, even if he's at Clemson.
No, they're going to treat Will Wade as a black sheep for as long as he is on the sideline.
Mm-hmm.
There's going to be some degree of that because just how much he has burned everybody that feels like at the NCAA that feels like that they have, gone after him and not been able to pin anything on him.
But LSU's tainted to the NCAA and other sports too now. So, I mean, why wouldn't like removing him from LSU give him a little bit of relief?
No.
I don't think so.
No.
I'm just throwing this out there.
No,
I see what
I know what you're
from.
saying. I don't think so. I mean, but I don't know. I mean, I don't know how these guys behind the scenes in the NCAA actually truly. I mean, I know how they feel, but like,
Yeah.
do they feel about that? Do they feel that way about Will, or do they feel that way about Will and LSU?
I think it's a combination. I think it's Will, and then I think like all the LSU stuff piled on top of that.
I
And
don't
it's
know.
just kind
There's
of
also
really,
a world where it
really
feels like
shitty
mission
situation.
accomplished if you get him out of LSU. It's like, all right, we did enough to where we made
Yeah,
him move on. It's
I
like, all right,
know.
and then he's like, all right, we did our job.
Yeah.
Like, I can see where you're coming from. If you make him leave, then it's like, all right, well, wait, we got
Listen.
like NCAA feels like we could check that box.
Right.
I think-
that's what I mean.
But and if you're LSU, like that's probably where they are at with the contract negotiations. Like nobody else is really sniffing around them. So I can see how you have that's LSU. If you're Will Wade, that's what you want. You have to bring another player into contention if you want an extension because you're like, look, I'm wanted by people other than LSU. That's what you have to make known.
Yeah.
Because at this point, it's kind of hard for you to really go to the table with anything. If the reason that you're losing basketball games is because of the way your head coach is being officiated.
Right.
So I think, and this isn't the exact same comparison, but over time, people start to get exhausted by hating someone, right? So like, take Alex Rodriguez in baseball for example. I'm
What a
not
story.
I'm not an Alex Rodriguez fan. Like I don't think he's great on TV. I don't like. It doesn't seem genuine. But he got popped for steroids. He comes in, he lies, he does the stuff where and so people hated him. And then over time, that hate just turned into like, I just don't really like him, but like, whatever. You know what I mean?
We got people move on to hating other people.
That's
that
my
do other
point.
things.
That's my point. So I think over time, like, and I'm not saying, and when I say over time, I'm not saying it's going to take 5, 10, 7, 8, 9 million years. It could take 2 years.
A long time, Mikey.
It could take 2 years, but like, this has been going on for 2 years, 3 years, and like in 2 years from now, it's not going to be as prevalent. It's going to end up self-regulating. People are going to get exhausted from doing it. I'm not saying it's going to completely go away, but it's not going to be as evident as it now. That's just my opinion.
It's not going to be as intense as it always has been. You know what I mean? Because at some point, the NCAA is going to have to say out loud that we don't have anything on him. Like they're going to have to admit that, and they're going to have to say that. And when that happens, I think that really public sentiment might start to transition to the hated one.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like the movie. You know what I mean? Where you're like, damn, I kind of like this guy.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, like
I always love the villain.
right? Well, I mean, like, and Wade could be coming out of this. I mean, don't let him land at like a blue blood school because that's when Calipari lost all the heat when he got the Kentucky job. Remember, I mean, they have to suspend or they had to take down the banner that the Derrick Rose Final Four and championship game that group went to. Yeah, I mean, like whatever. I mean, like, but still,
First game I ever gambled on.
They were coming after Calipari. Like still when he was at that point in his career, like even right before he got to Kentucky. I mean, he's taken Memphis with Derrick Rose to the Final Four and to the championship game, and the people of the sport are still coming after him to try and make his life miserable. It wasn't until he got to Kentucky that I'm sure there is some type of meeting between the North Carolina, Duke, Kentucky head coach, Kansas head coach, the blue bloods of the sport that say, hey, now you're in a fraternity where you got the golden ticket, man. You can do just about whatever you want to do in this sport. You want to pay $250,000 to get Zion Williamson and set the parent's kid up with a house while he's at Durham? You can do that. If you want to bring kids in and get these one-and-done guys, this is the way that it operates, and this is how it has to happen. Mm-hmm. I mean, you think those one-and-done guys are going to those schools for free? For no benefit?
Yeah, pride. It's for
you think Zion Williamson loved the brotherhood at Duke?
Of course.
right?
Coach K.
He loved it so much, he spent 7 months there. He didn't even spend a year on campus.
Right now, are you kidding me? He's going to keep going back to frat parties. Loved his time.
400 pounds.
It's frustrating when fans get so bent out of shape about a couple of losses or the players, but coming from, I mean, I think it's frustrating to me too, but coming from another school, just like looking in on y'all.
Third party.
Like, y'all are used to winning. LSU is used to being number one in
Not in
everything.
basketball.
I know, but they're used to being number one in so many things that it's hard. And when you start winning, you know, you get that like fever, and then you start expecting it. Like, why wouldn't we continue to be number one? This is what the fans expect. This is what the alumni expect. Where I come from, we don't have that expectation. I mean, we're thrilled for wins, but it's not the same.
Right.
So, I mean, it's frustrating for the fans to talk like this, but I also understand where you're coming from, because you expect to be number one. You want to continue to be number one.
Like, stumble into Tiger droppings or something last night? What is this? How did you just like? What happened? How do you know all this?
Because I'm on a LSU sports talk show. Damn it! What the hell? I
Yeah.
sit here and talk about this.
Lord.
No, but she usually doesn't have like the this. You're in the gutter right now.
I
like,
do.
You're in
I
the
have
sewer.
opinions on it. Well, I talked to David about it last night.
That's what it is. I knew
No,
it.
I know. I mean, we could call him right now. I'm talking to him about it.
Right.
I'm the one telling him,
You're
like, the
bringing it up.
NCAA
Yeah.
hates Will Wade. This is a shame. I'm watching my basketball game on one TV and then like running back into see the LSU game too. So I mean, no, it's in my life now. That's why I'm talking about it. Like, people talk to me about it.
Do y'all need a 2 TV setup, or y'all?
I have one. I had my game on
Whoa,
in the
bro, that's
bathroom.
I know. I forgot it was in my hand actually.
Wait, actually, when y'all started the watch party, I got in the shower and I had the Mississippi State basketball
That's a real
game
watch
on
party.
in my bathroom. But I had my phone.
Going live.
I had my phone in the shower with
Wow,
me.
you got it
Whoa.
bad.
Well, I had my phone to watch the watch party start up, and then my game on, and David was still at work, and he comes back to the bathroom, and he's like, all I hear is Lloyd's voice back here in the shower going. Because I thought Lloyd was in the shower.
Hey.
It was awesome.
Sorry, Sarah.
Moved on.
Right at the 8:01 hour. Perfect timing.
Which brings us to Relief Med. Guess who's back, baby? Relief Med is back with us here on the Jordy Culotta Show, and now they are offering flower, of course, in the state of Louisiana with medical marijuana. If you have not gotten your recommendation from the doctor yet, you need to get over to reliefmed.com, as we said.
Bring your ID.
Yes, make sure and bring your ID.
Bring your
Hey,
photo
rookie.
ID.
Hey,
Such a
LA
rookie
wallet,
move.
dude.
I know, dude.
There's so many ways we
I
can help
know, I know.
LA
I know.
wallet.
I'm sorry. Leave me
You're
alone.
gonna grow up.
Not anytime soon.
Thank God.
Anytime soon, Ron. But over at Relief Med, I didn't know this either. They deliver.
No.
Stop it right now.
You can make
Jordy, this
online
whole
orders
time?
and they deliver.
Whoa.
Wait a minute.
Are they
That's
going-
it.
Waiting in lines
That's
up there.
legal?
Katie and I
Are you
drove into the
sure?
parking lot yesterday. It looked like a
Y'all, it was
football game
packed.
going on over
Like,
there.
people
man.
were
I mean,
double parked.
They were
I was-
tailgating out there. I mean, it was like an
Wow.
event
Burning one to burn
over
one.
at Relief
We
Med.
only drove up to pick up a check and get our sponsorship.
We actually,
information.
Oh,
we
a
actually,
bunch of losers.
yeah.
I mean, Jesus, get
we
in line.
did run into
there for
one person who lives in Lafayette
At Relief Med.
and says
We did.
that there's a dispensary a mile down the road
Oh, no.
from his house in Lafayette,
What's the
but
name
that
of
he
it?
does not frequent. I don't know anything about the dispensary or the name of what's
They're
going
free
on.
ads, dude.
But he said that he drove all the way to Baton Rouge, so he didn't see anybody. And as soon as he swung the door open, Katie and I are like, "Yo!"
Hey, how's it going, man?
I mean, his face gets as white as that table. I mean, his face gets like all flushed. He's like, "Bro, I was hoping I wouldn't see anybody here that I
Comes
knew.
Queen. Yeah.
I drove an hour and a half so I wouldn't see anybody."
Well,
I mean, I was
he
coming
has
from like
kids,
he's like
I
in
mean-
Scott, Louisiana,
Yeah.
bro. Like he's coming from like the west side.
love
of
that.
Lafayette.
He's like, my kid's school
He's
is
coming with the
closed.
Mr. Potato Head sunglasses on, the mustache, so they can't see.
Should have been in
Yes.
disguise.
It
It was the
Jordy
baseball
saw it.
manager
Yes.
for the Mets that did
Is it
that.
Bobby
But-
Valentine?
Yeah, Bobby Valentine. Yeah, the OJ glasses and the mustache.
But yes, you know what happened?
Where are you going, bro?
You know what happened was he got high and then was like, you know what I should do is drive to Baton Rouge. I won't see anybody. Flings the door open first. He's like, God damn it, this happens every time. Like the high idea
Going
that he-
95 down I-10, dude.
I'll
Can't
I'll
get there fast
It's only
enough.
an hour. Like,
Keep hearing Culotta talk about this place over there on Essen Lane. I'm going to check this place out.
So what's our promo code over there?
Jordy01.
Finish that up.
Jordy01. Use the promo code Jordy01 for 20% off of your first purchase over there. Make sure and get the recommendation. Jordy01 over at Relief Med. Relief Med is a proud sponsor here of the Jordy Culotta Show, and with our new programming coming up, Afternoon J, which is going to debut here in the next couple of weeks, cranking up at 1 o'clock. They will be one of our title sponsors.
Might get some flower reviews.
Josh Back says, I bet Shea Dixon doesn't come through. Just got the text. He's on his way.
You got to worry about him on Fridays.
It could be
What's
like
that? Yeah, Fridays are a good feel for him.
He was holding court again on Saturday at the walk-ons. I got the, it's an elusive invite that you can get from Shea, but when you get it, you got to kind of capitalize. So we watched the
Weekend
game
starts
together.
for Shea on Thursday.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Saturday,
sure.
you're catching him kind of on the tail end.
Yeah.
Needs a boost.
Yeah, right. Kind of coming down the slope.
What's that poll looking like at 149 votes?
Oh, who knows? Let's check.
People seem angry about it.
What did I even put up there?
Do you extend Will Wade?
Do you still want to extend Will Wade with how he's being officiated? 89% say yes. So that's what I'm saying. Tiger droppings is
the 11%, the loudest.
Yeah, that's so true.
Yeah, they are, bro.
I don't get
Can't pay
into tiger
attention to them.
droppings.
Your show sucks.
Let me tell you.
Right, get out of here, bro.
Oh, I've been told no. So
Funny story about
know.
tiger droppings. I'm in college, and I am in
the power of tiger droppings.
I am
everywhere.
I am in the Cox Center at a for the auditorium class. There's 600.
Cox Communications. Get your head out of the gutter for God's sake. All of us.
It's an
Good
alumni,
God.
COCK.
And so I'm sitting there, and it's like auditorium classes, and
Grow up.
everybody's like,
We've ruined her. I mean,
Y'all really have.
Lloyd's in the
I'm
shower.
sorry.
Just
But
with those products.
you're on your computer, and nobody's paying attention.
Sure.
You know, like it's an auditorium, like it's whatever. And so I'm sitting down there, and tiger droppings has been like blowing up some of the stuff on baseball, and like nobody really read it, but like
Supposed to be around April, huh?
guys would come, guys
So
would come
season.
in and like say all this stuff, and so then I'm sitting there and I'm like not really paying attention. All of a sudden, this guy who's about 5'6", 245 pounds.
Wow.
Right? Like doesn't keep himself like healthy, and doesn't take showers. Looks like
Frank the Tank.
this guy. I'm here and he's in front of me, and I can see him. He opens up. First thing he does, computer open, tiger drop.
Sure, absolutely.
many
That's
posts?
who's on it.
Gets on his thing and starts typing LSU baseball thread. I'm like, well, this is the guy.
Yeah.
Writes on tiger droppings. I'm like, well, I have no credibility. I'm out.
There
of
you
this.
go.
And you used to
Right. That's a
what
great
they look
lesson
like.
for you.
Yeah, I'm like, what is
Early
this?
on,
This is-
I'm
come
gonna
on.
give a fuck about
Yeah.
what these people say.
Get out of here.
It really
That's
is
what
like
I've heard.
even for like in this business, I couldn't imagine being an LSU
No.
athlete, but even being here, like when you see the people kind of around, you're just like, why did I even pay a fucking attention to
Seriously.
that? Like,
Why-
it's
this guy-
unbelievable.
this
Cody
guy-
Boudreaux, Tiger Droppings loves Doom with the $5 super chat. Good to have you back, Cody. Good
He
to see
said
the
it's
lady
kinda
has
his
loosened
life.
up the stranglehold around the neck and the wallet.
Whoa.
Ooh.
Wasn't he getting his balls
Check-
busted?
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
he was dropping. I was going to say the check must have hit just after the 15th, so he
Oh,
had that
thank
little
you,
paycheck
Cody.
go in.
Thank you, Cody. We
Yes.
always appreciate you.
Good news for LSU football yesterday. Allie Gay returning officially to LSU. This is going to, man, I mean, like, think about what this defensive line is going to look like next season. It's hard not to say that they're going to be one of the best in the country. Forget the conference.
I agree.
And, I mean, if you want to be competitive in college football, you got to win the line of scrimmage. And LSU's done a really good job in the transfer portal and recruiting of getting guys on the offensive line. Like, I'm anxious to see what their offensive line looks like in spring football. That really is the number one storyline for me. But this defensive line, I can't wait to see them next fall. They don't even have to go through spring in my book. Like Allie Gay, BJ
you already know
Ojulari,
what you're
Jaquelin
getting.
Roy. I mean, all these guys that are coming back for this run, and you're adding into the mix Quincy Wiggins, Mason Smith may be one of the best defensive tackles in the country, and you're able to kind of put him into his right spot now with Gay, Ojulari on each bookend. I mean, I don't want to oversell, and I don't want to be dramatic, but, I mean,
I'm with you.
these cats,
I'm with
you
you.
can really do anything you want if you can get pressure on the quarterback with four. And it's going to be tough to find four that are better than this.
No doubt. Basketball coming back's huge in the front seven. And I know this is kind of but Jermaine Burton, do we have a chance?
I don't know if they want him. I mean, I'm thinking about the guys that they're asking and not really kind of getting back to school. I mean, I've heard horror stories about Jermaine Burton at Georgia.
I don't know anything
just
about
off
him.
the field type
Okay.
stuff. You know what I
Okay.
mean? Now, he's big time.
Yeah.
He's a player.
Yeah.
Right?
There's a reason he's leaving.
And outside of the defensive line room, maybe wide receivers the second most talented group in the building. So I don't know if you really put yourself out there for him. They've kind of shown that they're not putting as much stock into your ability right now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think if that was the case, Dwight McLaughlin would be back. Right?
They want character.
They're trying to build something else right now early on. There's a foundation and a stable base that they're trying to put in. You know, he's a West Coast guy. He was from that part of the country. I mean, with what Lincoln Riley and what Chip Kelly and what they're kind of selling right now, it feels like he may go back home.
What's going on? What's going on in Arkansas? Everybody's transferring out of Arkansas.
It's weird.
It is weird.
Isn't it? Like,
it's strange.
Everybody thought they were on the upswing.
Because
like,
I saw Kendall Briles turn down the Miami job and is staying in Arkansas, which I thought would be a big
get for coup.
And not only that, like kind of rally the troops in the locker room.
It's weird. Everybody's moving.
Something's
It's
going
like,
on there.
Yeah.
I know they got McLaughlin, but like everybody else is leaving.
There's a cautionary tale here, right, with Sam Pittman, and you've seen it before. It played out here at LSU. Like when you get a guy like that doesn't really have a position specific that is like vital to what you do. He better be able to recruit and keep those guys in house.
Yeah, but I mean, they did so well this year.
Yeah, I know,
like,
but when you recruit the way he does and the way that Ed Orgeron does, as you saw, like you get some wild cards in the building, and it's tough to like.
True.
It's tough to kind of keep your hands on those guys. Like you don't know what they really want to do. They snagged 2 guys from Arkansas that were starters.
Now look, I don't know if you've gotten to a point where you've got enough stability in the locker room now where you feel like it can kind of run itself, and you can bring in maybe a little bit of a risk. You know what I mean? Where you say, hey, look, this stuff will kind of smoke itself out.
Right.
And if you got some bullshit with you, it's not going to fly here first. You're not even going to get to my office.
Yeah.
It's all going to kind of be handled before it even gets to me because we've got that type of team that we're creating. I don't know if they know that yet.
Yeah, that's probably going to be
It probably takes a little bit
of
of time to build that up. But that's definitely been the emphasis.
Yeah.
Right? So if Jermaine Burton fits in or not, he'd fit in just about every single offensive room in the country. Right? I mean, like you're not going to find any offensive.
Viral.
Yeah, no, that's going to go wild.
Every time we look at the TV on SEC Network, it's Will Wade rocking in the chair.
That's what he wanted, though, right? I mean,
It's
do you
awesome.
think that
Yes.
that Ron actually hit
I think
a nerve?
he wanted to get thrown out last night.
Without a doubt.
I think he was.
I mean, he pulled out the iPad.
Yeah, I
on the
think
court.
he was.
like it.
I mean, he motherfucked that guy.
He got right in his face. He
Yeah.
goes, "I'm getting a technical."
No,
goal
he
and
said
you're
what?
playing."
He said, "What the fuck are you looking at?"
It scares me.
Right? I mean, like he
When he
went.
gets like that.
He went nuclear. You know what I mean?
did.
Like you can see his eye, his shit changes.
Yeah,
you know
it
what I mean?
does.
Like his one eyeball goes
Yeah,
up and
stuff
out,
looks like it's gonna explode.
and his cheeks get red,
Jordy, I work
red,
with you. I
red.
know exactly what it looks
Yeah,
like.
absolutely.
I've seen that look.
Absolutely.
I know that look.
About the 2-minute mark of the Mercy game, I hit that last night.
How'd y'all do?
Rolled.
Nice.
Anytime you beat St. George in anything, coach, it's a really,
Oh, boy.
it's a good deal.
Stetson Bennett's
You hear that,
returning.
BG?
Did y'all know?
Yeah.
To Georgia.
Aimed at BG and Doug Thompson too.
Wow, both my neighbors.
Right. Bookended you. Yeah. Allie Gay and BJ Ojolari to Montauk.
Oh,
Heard
man.
4-3 on the guy.
That's right.
Boy. But yes, what did you say? You said
Stetson Bennett's returning to Georgia.
I don't-
As if he was going anywhere
I
else.
thought he was just gonna
Well, he
just
can
hang.
do it
I thought he was
because
gonna
of the
leave
COVID.
school.
Really?
Like,
Coach, he's going to be a lawyer. That's all. The courtroom's
understand,
always
but, like-
going to be there. This life is not
I
going to
understand,
be
but
long.
I mean,
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
I
how
guess
many
if
times
he's
can
gonna
you
be the
go on
starter-
Georgia's campus
It'd be
as
second
a
in a-
student
I'm with- dude, I'm
to the
with
guy
you.
that won the Natty?
you don't have
know
to
what
explain
No,
that
I know.
to me. I get it.
But when it comes down to it, that was it.
I get it. I just thought that, like, I thought for him and Georgia was like, all right, you know what? We had all this stuff. I know I played, but maybe I mean, they had to have said, hey, you're the starter. Then nobody's coming in. There's not going to be any more questions. Oh, are you not going to be starting? So maybe, but I thought like, oh, leave on the high note. I won the national championship. Nobody liked me before.
Yeah.
Everybody loves me now.
Yeah.
Don't put myself in a position where people not like me.
Yeah, you could fuck with the legacy a little
You know
bit.
what I mean?
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But
it's a write off in the sunset.
if
That's
you're
what I thought he was
selling,
gonna
if
do.
you're selling me,
Right.
you know
No,
what I mean?
yeah.
Like, look, Stetson, here's the deal, bro. You could come back and you could screw this up, but you could come back
And get
Double
on Good
down.
Morning America
and
and be drunk again.
you're the guy
Exactly.
who broke the curse since 1980, and you're the national championship winning quarterback, and you're walking around campus.
Yeah.
Yep. And you're
That's what he
doing
wants.
drunk interviews on Good Morning America.
And
the
you're
night-
serving
the
chicken
next morning.
fingers at Raising Cane's.
With the score to the game as the price ticket.
Oof.
It's 33-18 when that's the score. He's like, yeah, that's a box combo. That'd be 33-18.
Exactly.
It's great, but there's also a world where he doubles down and is not the starter next year. Like two games in.
That's right.
And it's like, all right, Stetson, thanks, and now you're the most hated man.
That's
on
what
Kate.
I'm
Like,
worried about.
Yeah.
I know.
That would
He
be
want to be
sad.
the most hated.
No, we
Coach.
can turn on you so
Nah,
quick, dude.
But if you're not the
think
starter, like,
next,
you're not hated. If
Next year, George is in a hangover, right? Like
LSU style?
next year, not that bad because their talent, I think, is going to be really good. And I mean,
They lose their D line, right?
they've got some stability. Yeah, they lose a lot of their D line, they lose a lot of their offensive line, but he's recruited at such a high level that, I mean, it does have an Alabama feel to it where it almost just kind of reloads itself.
Yeah.
So I don't, I mean, like George is going to be top 3 in the country preseason, and a lot of that will be because of what they accomplished this year, but their roster will be because of it.
And this because they didn't get Caleb Williams. Like that was probably the hang up. Like they were, there were rumors out there that
He's
they
on
threw
USC
$3
then.
million
Obviously,
in
Like
Caleb Williams.
the
whatever,
Gordon
must have not
McKernan
gone
of
through.
Athens, the Gordon McKernan of Georgia football, like supposedly ran up on Caleb Williams and like made them think about it. You know what I mean?
Right, so it must have not happened. So Stetson's like, well, if they get Caleb Williams, I'm not going to play.
Well, I think,
I'll go be a lawyer.
Lincoln Riley had called the guy who made the deal happen for him and said Caleb needs an extra $150K. Make it happen.
Somebody
Is that
else
what he,
said.
is he? Are y'all just saying that because his name sounds like a lawyer, or is he actually in law?
No, he's going to law. He's going to be a
Okay,
lawyer.
okay.
I think he's in finance, like he's
He
majoring
is,
in
that's his
finance and
major.
wants to be a lawyer.
He's
It's
really
like,
smart.
Stetson Bennett the fourth.
That was
Like,
my
it's
Yeah.
route.
unbelievable.
What a
That's
lawyer
what I
name,
wanted to
too.
do.
It is.
Stetson Bennett,
Right.
Lots of
attorney
law
at
firms.
law.
Have you
Sounds
spoke to
good.
Have you spoke to
I
Stetson?
mean, they have one of those.
I mean, doesn't that make you feel so much more secure?
It
It
makes
does.
you feel like you're
Yeah,
gonna get
no, I'm
bent
with
over
Stetson.
The barrel.
I'm with Stetson.
Stetson's coming
Yeah.
to the table like, oh, I'm on retainer.
Yeah,
Hey,
right.
Stetson Bennett the
Who's
fourth on the wall.
who's the
Steady, let him
Louisiana-
know.
Yeah.
Who's the Louisiana DB that just hit the portal from Oklahoma State? Anthony says in our chat.
I don't know.
Ooh.
We'll find
Anthony,
out.
breaking
We'll find
news.
out.
Shea
Thank you,
Dixon
Anthony.
coming up.
Why are there only 89 likes and 439 of you watching?
Tell him.
Please hit
Let
the
'em
like
know.
button.
Let
90
'em know.
likes. There y'all go.
Let
Let's
'em
hit
know.
that like button. It's
Let 'em know.
so easy.
Have you liked it?
What?
Have you pressed the like button?
What did I do then?
So easy.
Yeah.
Both
How
of
is
y'all.
that- how is
Both
that
of y'all.
sexual? How is
you
that
need maybe-
sexual?
I think you need to go back to Alexandria for a weekend.
Right,
Get some
dude.
stuff out your system. Come back.
Make
I
a
know
road
some
trip for
things
God's
I say,
sake.
But like, how's
It's
that?
not me, it's her.
But how is that sexual to say it's so easy?
I mean, when you say it like, I'm not crazy.
Nobody said you're
You're
crazy.
saying you're horny.
It's almost the weekend. Love Sundays.
JT Daniels is leaving Georgia. Would you be interested in him?
Hell no, dude. Guy's got the loser body.
Leaving
Yeah,
Georgia,
he
not
does.
Oklahoma.
He does have the blob bod.
Dude,
That's
it's
not-
the
he's
hair.
not
dude.
Oklahoma.
It's that hair.
That's the quarterback from Georgia. He's transferred out.
Oh, okay.
JT Daniels is the quarterback.
Okay.
That was supposed to be the quarterback, and Stetson took that from him.
So who's the Oklahoma guy?
Five-star gets
Does
taken
anyone know?
over.
Caleb Williams.
No, the Oklahoma defensive back. She said. I don't know. who it
Oklahoma
is.
State
We
defensive
can't,
back.
see,
Yeah.
you gotta be careful with the chat. They can throw some.
Well, they also can throw some facts, though.
I know, but
You know,
Jared
like,
Bernard
great.
Converse. See, that sounds like a fake name.
So it's true.
It does.
What's the last name?
It does.
Converse.
Converse.
No way. Really?
Do you have flyers?
He's real. He's weird.
Okay.
He's weird. Yeah.
Okay.
61201
All Big 12?
from Shreveport. So this is the
Hey.
guy. There we go. There's the connect.
Bigger crew.
Uncle Frank.
Yeah, go get him, Frankie.
Frankie.
Go get
Hey,
him,
somebody
Frankie.
said Uncle Frank in the chat the
There
other
we
day.
go, dude.
There we go. Uncle Frank's coming through.
I had an
family.
Uncle Frank that was like
Did you?
that. Yeah,
Remember,
he's
it
dead.
is Remember Daily. We're brought to you by RMB Builders.
Died in his
RMB-builders.com.
sleep.
I am.
Did you really?
He really did.
There we
He
go.
died in his sleep. Uncle Frank.
Good for him.
Good for Uncle Frank.
RMB Builders. We're eating lunch today with Rhett Bourgeois and RMB Builders. RMB-builders.com. Remember, you can get in touch with them. All of our stuff is podcasted, so we are appreciative of RMB Builders for bringing back all of our audio for you. They also can build you a custom design home. They can do any type of reconstruction or refurbishment to
Shower
your
work.
commercial or your residential job.
work.
What work?
RMB-builders.com. Build, buy, remodel. You can do it all with Rhett Bourgeois at RMB-builders.com.
He's going to be back at my house
RMB-builders.com.
soon.
I bet.
Really?
Upstairs this time.
What's going on?
Oh,
More leaks?
No, renovating the
euphoria
girls'
room.
bathroom. Renovating the girls'
okay.
bathroom. Doing
All right.
a little rearranging up there.
I almost got
Little
got to see
elective
the-
project.
I almost got to see the inside of the
Good
house. I only saw the
procedure.
outside of the house. I only saw the front
Okay,
porch because
okay.
from your house because y'all had the vid, so I
Okay.
couldn't go in.
Oh.
I had to
And
drop
we're
something
adding
off.
some bunks.
The barricade.
We need to do that here.
Some bunks in the playroom, so there's plenty of room for y'all.
Bunk beds here?
We
I
need
thought about
something.
that. I think
I'm
we
bunking
need
with
some
Lloyd, that's
bunks
cool.
in
That's
that
cool.
back room.
Top bunk.
Top bunk?
Top
In
bunk.
your
Yeah,
back
I'll
room.
take
Or
a
bottom
Built
over
in.
here.
As long as you don't rip farts in
We
my
could
face
do
on
it.
the top bunk.
We could do that.
We can
Not a big
make
farter.
built-in bunk beds so fast, and I make them up with bedding and mattresses. I mean, we can get them
Live
in 2
stream.
days. 2 days, y'all be sleeping here.
Yeah, wouldn't have to
I
go to
like that.
Alexandria at all.
You won't.
Just lock the door.
Lloyd?
What? 1 second.
Lloyd, what's going on in there?
As long as you're not using my bathroom, which I put signage up so everyone knows.
I would never.
Thank you.
Because
If you
it's
would
so
just
uncomfortable.
It is uncomfortable. I know y'all can't fit in there. If you just
Oh,
put
it
the
is
damn seat down, we wouldn't have these issues. That's all I
I
ask.
mess with
See,
the-
okay.
why would you want that bathroom? I don't. Not you. I know why you want it.
I
Because you
want it
your
just because it's
privacy.
tiny and y'all need the big one.
Well, yeah, we did the test case with Mikey.
I was just
Didn't
looking
fit.
for a little
Didn't
alone
fit.
time.
That's all we needed.
Yeah.
Boy, talk about my feet.
R&B
my
builders.
feet would be going numb.
Yeah.
In that
They
room.
would.
What-
We should take a picture of you in there.
Katie's big on the seat for the toilet.
Yeah, every girl's big on the seat.
I know, but I'm
boy.
just trying. I'll get myself in trouble here. I just don't understand why it doesn't work both ways.
What
I
do
mean,
you
why are
mean?
we responsible for both ends of it?
What?
What do you mean?
Like, to put
we
it up,
don't
put it down.
the seat up to use the bath. I mean, y'all lift everything up to pee. We don't do that.
Right. So if
But
the
you
seat
also
is
sit down on the toilet.
but if it's just always down, that's fine, right? If you just take care of it after if you piss on the seat, just wipe it. Like, does
Okay.
that make a difference?
People don't wipe. Some people don't
Well,
wipe.
it
Oh,
looks
you don't want
tacky
to
for
see-
one to leave all the toilet seat up.
I
So
see.
just
That's
close
where
it.
I'm lacking.
And plus, in the middle of the night, if I were to go in there, I would fall in.
dump
Fall in.
yourself.
That's-
So
well, that's why I keep it
it's
down.
just
That's why I keep it
respect.
down.
That's
Yeah.
why she-
And I take care of it on the back end as opposed to the front end.
What do
Like,
you mean?
I just keep it the whole thing down. I get the tacky part. That's where I'm lacking.
Okay.
But if I keep it clean and keep it down, you don't have to worry about it, right?
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
That's all she's saying.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all you're saying. Well, you can keep it down as long as you
Catch
have
up,
good aim.
Lloyd.
No, but I'm saying if you want it,
Smoke more
if
weed,
you
for
don't
God's
want
sakes.
it, if you don't want it to get pissed on, then after you pee, you could lift the seat up too, right?
Con Lee.
No,
Lloyd
I'm
seems
not
like an
prepping the
ex-bedwetter.
toilet for you is the thing.
No, not a big bedwetter. I would say if I was.
Oh, I've never wet the bed.
Neither.
I wouldn't say never.
I mean, that I remember, obviously. Like,
Yeah.
Post 25?
No, see, that's what I'm
Yeah, that's
pleased about. Because you could go out there and if you get a little
Never done
twisted,
that.
Yeah.
you could pee the bed.
I've never
I know
done
people
What
that
a
have.
bad look.
Dude, in the fraternity house, there's some pee beds. Like you just like, and then they have people that are bedwetters, where it's
Yeah,
like they
I've
do it,
witnessed that in
yeah,
college.
like notoriously.
Boys, only boys.
That's
Eric-
the trick.
Eric Aber, Jarek Bernard Converse went to Evangel. Did we already say that?
Shreveport, so
He's from
probably.
Shreveport. We went to Evangel. I don't know, man. It depends. Look, they need DBs. Like,
Take anybody.
they need DBs to play.
Anybody.
But you take an all Big 12
Yes,
cornerback
yes,
from
yes.
Louisiana.
I mean, last time we got an all Big 12 player, he didn't really pan out very well, but the receiver that we gave
Texas
seven,
Tech?
that we gave
Was
seven
that
to,
Jonathan?
Jonathan Giles.
Jonathan Giles. My
Looked
goodness.
like he had a spark though.
He came in and got 7, and then all of a sudden, you're like,
Oh.
hey, you're not making anybody miss.
I mean, like, dude, give that back. They made him give it back.
They made him give it back.
Like that. What a just like.
That's a bad-
I'm
that's a
out.
bad deal.
You know, I'm leaving.
But that should have been a red flag for O at the beginning. Like
I
giving
thought so,
that to
too.
a transfer, then he doesn't play, then you take it away from him. Like, what are you doing to the guy? Like, at least let him
I mean, he
live.
put up great numbers at Texas Tech.
Did.
Speaking of, he got dropped from the Title IX stuff. last year?
Ogeron did.
Yeah.
Yes, Ogeron did. I had to imagine that was discussed within his
Buyout.
What, the Rosie Finch boys?
within his buyout. Within his.
Hey, here's
Yeah,
your money.
right.
Also,
Look.
we're not gonna, we won't. You'll be fine.
You just take this and shut up. And
And
we'll
you
drop
drop
the
you
we'll
from-
drop the
We'll
lawsuit.
quit making fun of the Rosie Finch boys.
You can take the
Sign
with a
this
Z.
to make sure you keep your mouth shut about where all the bodies are buried.
and you can take FaceTime videos from the backyard of the club, the U Club.
How happy did he look though?
Wait, I didn't see it.
You didn't see it. So
was,
NFL
yeah.
Live did a spot with Ogeron talking about Burrow and Chase, and it was all the
When?
same
When was
stories that
this?
you heard last Saturday morning. Last
Oh,
Saturday
I
morning
missed
before the
that.
game.
I was on hole 5 right behind him. You just check out on that.
And he is obviously in the U Club. I mean, he is in the hood.
I mean, you see it.
I mean, like, it is like, wow, that's the university club. And he's standing in his backyard. And, I mean, just that typical Ogeron. Look at him. Look at him.
Look at him.
Killing all the speculation. Making all the haters swallow it. Shea Dixon just walked in. That was
God.
sexual.
Yeah,
That was
without a
sexual.
That
doubt.
was sexual.
sexual.
That was sexual.
But Ogeron last Saturday morning from the University Club backyard is glowing ear to ear with this smile, telling stories about Burrow and Chase.
so they
two
came
golden
and filmed
goose.
this here?
We got a
No,
golden
it
goose.
looked
They
like
got
it
two of
looked
them.
like he was zooming. It looked like
okay.
something was happening. I mean, it looked like he was.
I was waiting for that. What do you mean? What kind of
drug is that?
What kind of zoom?
Oh, I know.
Zoom.
Y'all don't know how to zoom?
Shea Dixon up next.
Fucking losers. But he does look very happy.
Right now.
All right, Megan Making Money's coming up at 8:45, and Shea Dixon is standing here in the studio. We're bringing him in next. Remember, we are brought to you by Go Chevrolet, powered and driven every single day. Check them out online at GEAUXChevrolet.com. We'll be right back with Shea Dixon. Smelling good, I bet.
Oh,
yeah, always smelling good.
Always smells good.
I still a little slanted. Did you just wake up?
No, I texted you.
Okay, all right. It's good to see you.
This guy trying to put you on blast.
It's good to see you.
He's on a wrecking crew today, dude.
Well, you saw him tighten up when I said your eyes are slanted.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Like he's in high school.
Yeah, whoa. You just woke up, dude. You no need to panic. Look at him. Look at that smile.
He
Look at that
does.
smile.
Good for him, dude.
Absolutely.
It's hard to hate him.
Took all y'all's money and gave you a ring.
And I still like
I'm
him.
trying to think.
Yeah,
What
right.
isn't there a hole right behind him?
Is that
There's probably a couple holes in front of him.
is that three? Is that three?
I don't know. I don't think it's 3.
Is that not 3?
I don't know.
We'll be back with Shea Dixon here on the Jordy Culotta Show. Papa Earl's, the fine spice, originating right down here in South Louisiana by our guy Mark Pop Norman. Developed it back in 2018 and won Amazon's Newcomer of the Year in 2019. They pride themselves in having 30% less salt and sodium than the leading brands at the same price point. You can find them locally. Look for Papa Earl's at Rouse's, Calandro's, Mathern's, High Neighbor, and more. True Blue Water, true hydration at its finest. Right now, you're only a few minutes away from getting your 5-gallon water delivered to you, just like we are over here at the UDL. All you got to do is log on to truebluewater.com. That's TRU, bluewater.com. The website's fantastic over at truebluewater.com. You can get your service and find out how quick it is. You can schedule a delivery, even hop on the billing system right there at truebluewater.com. TRU, bluewater.com. Welcome back here to the Jordy Culotta Show.
Everybody get it out your
Things
system.
get
Jesus.
crazy in the break, for God's sakes.
Did you see that motion graphic?
How you like that, Shay?
was-
We're growing up right in front of your
look at that.
eyes.
Is that my boy?
No, hell no. Don't give me that much credit.
No. Is that our other boy?
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah. Hey, look at the guy, huh? That is Shea Dixon gracing the set here of the Jordy Culotta Show for the first time. It is good to see Shea D smelling good, looking good.
Smelling good.
We got? What type of kicks we got on today?
Oh, those
So
are
some
the,
worn clouds?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
But I got them at Christmas, and they're already like.
Oh no,
with
no.
me.
No.
Oh,
I'm
no.
not sure I'm buying into.
Send those back to
Let's
Sweden.
mix in some other ones. Let's get a rotation.
Is
So
there
you wear them out. You know what I mean?
Thanks, Mikey. You buying it?
I don't even have a pair of those.
Welcome to the Matthew Montauk Show. You get a pair of shoes.
Hey, actually, what size shoe do you wear?
10.
I got a pair of 10s of Adidas. I'll bring them for
Well,
you.
you said you had
this
9
guy.
for
I'm
me.
fucking 10
I got
for God's
9s
sake.
too. I got multiple pairs of
All
them,
right,
boys.
fuck. I'll take a glove too while you're handing shit out.
I didn't ask for a glove. The guy across the street wants a baseball bat.
He wants a baseball. I want him to make him one.
Where'd you get that?
So he can knock people in the head.
I was
He's
like, where'd you get that? Montauk was like, my guy. Why? He's like, did you give me one? He's like, yeah, I guess. So you're on the hook for a bat, a couple of shoes, and a
yeah,
glove.
we're good. We're good.
All
I
right.
need to clean out the closet anyway. We're fine.
Shay, how are you, bro?
Doing well. I like y'all studio.
Thank you, buddy.
This first time here.
Thank you.
You've seen it.
Thank you.
Been to the
Fan of the
UDL
show.
a few times.
Yeah, she had been
Fan
to
of
the
the
So
show.
what's the UDL up to right now?
It is still trashed. It is still
Really?
like post-moving state. It still has that kind of, yeah. It's
Of
still
course
kind
it's
of
like that.
scattered with cardboard, like cutouts on the wall, a couple of stickers. Jordan's still there. Michael Jordan. Not my son. I'm not housing my son there.
Jordan's moved out of the room and put him in the outdoor.
Even though little Jay did walk out
Actually-
there the other day, it was like, I kind of saw him like
Oh no, he's putting the pieces.
looking around.
I
There's
could
a
put my
bathroom
PS5
out
in
here.
Yeah, he-
lock the
You know
door.
what I mean?
He probably
Dad
liked
set
that.
me up on a
Oh,
TV.
yeah.
I can
Girls
tell
in there.
when the light bulb really goes off, it was kind of like starting to flicker. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like 11 years old, he's kind of like, I could do some really cool shit out here
Jerk
without
off in
anybody
here.
knowing. Not yet. I don't think.
Get Lloyd in there, teach him how to run the AC, teach him how to run the wall unit. Right?
Exactly. Yeah, you got to tickle it a little bit, then it gets purring.
Make sure that you hit the like and the share button. Randy Lanois, Shea is the GOAT. What a compliment from the Godfather there. I mean, that is the big man, Randy Lanois. That's BG and Dee Dee's dad. The guy.
Hung out with him.
The man.
Hung out with him a few times. My folks, him.
Yes.
Good guy.
Oh, he's the
National
best.
championship. I hung out with him.
He's the best.
Family.
Con Lee said sending $2 for Shea for some Jordans. We'll need
some
about
Jordans.
222 more. If you're going to send that, please.
Not him.
I've got some
me.
Jordans.
You got some J's?
Oh yeah. a lot.
Shay, how are we
strong.
feeling about this coaching staff finally put together? Cortez Hankton was the final piece brought together. I know that we've talked about this a little bit, but now coaches are out on the road representing their schools. How do you feel LSU is represented with their 10-man coaching staff now?
Again, results will speak on the field, right? So, but I like the blend of youth and veteran folks. Like Steeples is 32, Joe Sloan's 35. You know, Hankton's a younger guy, but then you've got Den Brock. You know, guys who've done it, who've been around and called plays at big schools, Cincinnati, Notre Dame. You know, you got House, an NFL guy. I think Jamar Kane's going to be one of their better recruiters on the D line. Obviously, Frank's back, so I like the blend.
Uncle Frank.
Uncle Frank.
For Brian Kelly to come down here, we said it when he was hired. Okay, well, now you've got to put together a staff that can recruit for you.
Yeah.
You know, and when you get Sloan and when you get Frank and Sloan and Hankton, and then you go get Jamar Kane, who is one of OU's better recruiters. I think that young guys like Steeples, Polian's probably one of the better recruiters in terms of guys who will be a recruiting coordinator. He's a special teams coordinator, obviously. I like it a lot. Now we'll see how they look on the field, but I like the blend. And I like that they took the time to put it together. It wasn't like let's scramble for the early signing period and get everybody hired and, we have to save this class. It didn't seem they ever pressed a panic button.
Yeah. Rico Delgado, I'll hit the like button if Lloyd doesn't say another word for the rest of Shay's segment.
Rico, see me on the weekend, cuz I know where you live. I've seen where you sleep.
Whoa.
Not really.
What does
I
it
don't know
mean?
anything about Rico.
What does it mean for
I don't even know Rico.
what does it mean for Ali Gay coming back?
Oh, man. I think it's just as big for B.J. Ojolari to have, another guy playing opposite of him. I'm curious what defense they're going to run under House. It seems that he's been multiple, whether it's a 3-3-5 or, are you putting 4 down linemen? I guess that kind of determines how you use a guy like Ojolari and Gay. But I thought the Gay news was huge. I think that on the interior, and they've added another guy from Missouri, an all-SEC freshman, but you know, you've got all those guys, Roy and Mason Smith and Guillory, and so you feel good on the interior. I think it was defensive end that was a bit of a, all right, who are we going to have step up? And then you get Gay come back, you get Ojulari come back, and that allows you to bring on Quincy Wiggins and Savion Jones and, you know, the guys who are a bit younger in the program and, you know, don't have to go out there right away and carry the torch for you.
What do you make of what they've done in the transfer portal? I mean, they have cleaned up. Major Burns was here in a national championship watch party and told us, he said LSU is about to do work in the transfer portal. And it was almost like, as he said it real time, you looked up and it was like commit after commit after commit after commit. I mean,
Major Burns is an OG transfer before all this. He's like, I've been doing this.
I'm about to tell y'all what LSU's about to do. I mean, this is what it's going to look like.
I think once you're in the portal once, you get like text updates. Like, guys, we're about to roll through these dudes. I think they had like 9 or 10 in a week or something like that. But I guess the timing of it was that school started yesterday. I think the last date TAD courses is the 27th. So all these kids who, you know, are trying to transfer and then get on with the new program and be there for spring ball and not get behind at any point, we're having to make like really quick decisions. So a lot of guys were on campus, 1-2 day stays, and you sort of saw how they addressed it. I thought position wise, up and down the board, I mean, long snapper, punter, linebacker, I think is a big need for them, and they were able to get West Weeks. Receiver, O-line, obviously to get 2 guys was big.
Cornerback.
I still think corners there. I wouldn't be surprised if they're going to take more corners. I don't know who's in the portal right now that they would be all over, but more guys. They still have spots, so more guys will go in, and I won't be surprised if they take more corners. If you're only bringing back Demarius McGee and Raydarius Jones, you've got to load up on more guys.
And Jones is kind of on shaky ground, right?
Sure. Yeah, I mean, there's been rumblings that he might enter the portal, and really we haven't seen either of those guys play any real extended action, so a lot of unknowns.
That's kind of what I was going to ask you. How many spots do you have left?
8.
And how many spots do you think that they're going to try to fill in with the portal over the next week?
So you get 8, and that's high school JUCO transfer.
Right.
So I would bet it's a combination of things. So you still have some high school guys out there. So let's say they sign 3 or 4 high school guys. So then you've got about half the group left. And even then, I wonder if they're not going to hold some of those until the spring because that's when you got Burrow. That's when a lot of guys go through spring ball, and for whatever reason they say, okay, I'm ready to make a move, and you don't want to be left with no scholarships to spend. So I think this whole rush is probably about to calm down, and they'll clean up with a few guys in February, first Wednesday of February is signing day. So less than 2 weeks now, 13 days, 12 days.
On that note, what do you got? Who do you think we're going to clean up with on that day?
Ooh.
I still feel good about Jacoby Matthews.
Really?
I do. I think that...
Is he going to take an NIL deal?
I'm sure. Did you see Gordon already got all the portal kids?
Yeah.
I mean,
Getting it done.
Right.
I didn't even know they were in town yet. It was sort of pulled off the interstate and drove right by the office.
It's on the billboard with
I
the
texted
guys.
G. I was like, you think you can get me Lacey?
Yep.
Actually, I can.
Setting up interviews through him.
Yeah, right. Hey, G, it's Jordy again.
Saw you had another one come out today.
Can you help me with Jacoby Matthews?
So I think Jacoby, I still feel good there. He's going to visit on the last weekend before signing day. Trevante Citizen would be another big Louisiana one. I'm iffy.
They're taking these running backs. They're
on him?
taking these running backs because they don't feel good about it, right?
I mean, I think, look, they've got a deep running back room. This is the thing. Like, you've got John Emery, you've got, Kiner and Goodwin, you've got Trey Bradford still. Josh Williams, obviously, is a walk-on who the past 2 years has really been playing. Then you signed Kane. Now you're going after Citizen. So it seems like a lot of guys, but, like, you can easily remember games where it was Josh Williams.
Yeah,
or,
looking for carries.
All of a sudden 3 guys are banged up and 1 guy's ineligible or 2 guys are ineligible. And I don't know that's going to be the case moving forward all the time. But I think they're just being cautious to build out a deep running back room. I don't think they're done taking running backs, but we'll see what happens with Citizen. He comes to LSU this weekend, just left Auburn, who I think he's pretty high on.
Yeah.
Then midweek he goes to Florida. Then he'll be at Miami next weekend. Then he has to sign. So he's got a lot of options that he's entertaining down the stretch, which I guess makes it a bit interesting. But he'll be one to watch. Danny Lewis, the Westgate tight end, is an LSU Florida. Bama just got into the mix there. So
Damn.
Whoa.
yeah, I think they offered last night or yesterday during the day. So they'll be one to watch, I guess. But those three guys I would circle. Then they've offered some receivers, so who will visit that last weekend. So clearly, they still want to add at least one more receiver, even with taking Lacey out of the portal. But that'd be so I guess it's like 3, 4. I think there's like 7 total high school kids they're still going after. So maybe they end up with 3 guys, something like that.
How competitive, how fair is it to expect them to be competitive next year? Like what degree of competition? I mean, do you have them competing with Alabama next year? Do you have them?
And then you went straight to the top. I mean, isn't there somewhere else to start in?
But I mean, the scary thing about it is as far as they can be down like they were this past season,
the past 2 seasons,
they can put Alabama on the ropes like they did in November. You know what I mean? Alabama they were scratching and clawing to get out of there.
Yeah, I mean, I guess my expectation is to win. I've said it before. It's the Kim Mulkey approach. When she got here, it was, okay, well, how great are y'all going to be in year 1? Well, I don't know. How many games you win last year? We won 9. All right, we'll win 10. And that's an improvement.
Right.
And we'll figure it out from there. So I think they'll win 7 games. I think that they'll improve. I don't know about being some 10, 11 win team that's competing with Bama. It's just a whole new staff. They're adding 30-something new guys to the roster. I mean, there's a level of cohesiveness I would imagine that you have to get to that maybe can't be captured in just an offseason. And even then, I'm not even sure. Like, yeah, okay, you might get back to like 70-something, 80 guys, but like how many of them are really that great? And, I think it's, I don't know, what are we even calling this? A rebuild? Or
so here's my question, right? Now, this is just me from like looking at the athlete side. You have 30 new guys. So these guys are coming in here fresh, right? Either whether they're transfers, they already know they're going to have an adjustment, whether we had this new staff or the old staff. We have a whole new staff. So we have a lot of new people coming in together, which to me helps with building chemistry.
Okay.
Right? Because you don't have to fight these guys that have been there for so long with the whole, like the old staff and that type of mentality that they have. You're not trying to change that.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I'm not saying it's going to, but to me, as an athlete coming in, if I know I'm going in somewhere new,
yeah,
and I'm getting a whole new staff that's coming in there new, like I already knew I was going to have a new staff, so I don't have the history of the old staff. And there's not a lot of people that the old staff has to go and like kind of change,
right?
And I feel like the guys that are changing are getting in the portal and leaving anyway.
I think there could be something to that, obviously, as well with the competitiveness of,
right.
You're not going in and that every starting spot's locked up and so-and-so's been playing for that coach for 3 years and he got recruited by him and now he's going to be, playing favorites or whatever it might be. So hopefully if
everybody's got a chance.
Yeah, if everyone's got a chance, maybe that raises the level of play in spring ball and all that and everyone's competing. But again, look, they paid a lot. Shoot. So much you're paying Hankton?
Yeah.
$900,000.
It's unbelievable, man.
Wrong business, brother.
I mean,
I could coach receivers.
I mean,
let's go.
Just get you a couple of players. That's all I got to do.
Okay, Sean, that's what I got to coach.
I mean, shit.
Do the thing. Go score a touchdown.
They're paying these dudes a lot of money.
Yeah.
And I think that the hope, if you're paying Brian Kelly a lot of money, is that you put it across 3 decades now and his win percentage is up there with Saban's and nobody else. So if he knows what he's doing, let him go. Maybe you are competitive year 1.
How quickly did the transfer portal kind of accelerate the timeline? Because if there was no portal and you bring in Brian Kelly, like you have to. Obviously, LSU doesn't lose as many players as they have, but for him to be able to bring in an established culture the way that he has, it's almost like there's only one way to do it, and that's with the portal.
I mean, if we're debating that if this is a rebuild and it's going to take a year or 2, then that. We're debating now. Yeah, right. I mean, that would have set you back a couple more if you're thinking that maybe now you can compete next year a little bit and be ready the year after. This would have been had they not passed that rule of adding another 7 guys, I don't know, and then mixing in that you can just sign out on portal guys that I don't know where this roster would be right now.
Are you hearing Derek Davis, Penn State? Or is there any discussion around him?
I'm hearing it from you just now.
Really?
Well, no, you just said it, so I'm hearing it.
Breaking news.
Yeah.
Well, he was committed there for a bit. He's from Pennsylvania, and literally 20 minutes, 15 minutes from campus. So I guess that wouldn't shock me. He didn't play a ton this year, which surprised me because Pig Cage, he's a very good player, played well in the bowl game, but they were scrapping for it at the end.
Yeah.
They were walk-ons playing at safety. So I was a bit surprised we didn't see more of him this year. I'd be interested to see if that does pan out that way. He's a good athlete.
A lot of expectation around Sage Ryan in year 2, huh?
I'd imagine. I mean, I'm curious what his position is. He a nickel? Is he a true safety? But yeah, I think there's some expectations put on him of, okay, you settled in. Like, now go out there and do it. You were a baller in high school. It's time to make that. Yeah, time to take that next step. Be a Lafayette dude. Rise up.
Yeah, let's go. Up the Acadiana.
Lafayette, dude. You got no Lafayette person coming on.
Yeah, making money.
Yeah. 337.
What do you think about this Nussmeier Brennan quarterback situation? Obviously, Brennan was recruited back here and told some things, and I don't think he was promised anything. But how do you see this quarterback competition? Is there one?
I don't think so.
No.
Do you?
I don't know if he can hold him off all of next year. I mean, I think that he's the starter going in, but I think at some point you're going to yearn for somebody who can keep a play alive, and you've got one sitting right there that, I think would make a good jump from year 1 to 2. I expect Nussmeier to improve, greatly from not so much where he's the starter, but I think that Miles Brennan is in for I think it's going to be a little bit of a tougher task than some people may think to keep Nussmeier off the field. Right? I mean, I love Brennan's arm. I love him, the thought of him throwing deep balls to Keyshawn Butte. But the fact of the matter is LSU's got an unstable offensive line, and he can't move. And in college football, you better have a threat at quarterback that can keep plays alive with his arm and his legs, and LSU's got one sitting right there.
Technically, they got 2, but I know what you mean.
Yeah.
You talk about
Walker.
I hope he redshirts.
Oh, no doubt.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not putting him. And look, as soon as he's able to get in it, that's my dude.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
He's a beast. They've got a nice quarterback room right now.
Yeah.
I think Brennan coming back was so
huge.
Yeah.
And I think that you reward him for making that choice, as he is QB1 on the depth chart going into the workouts, going into the offseason.
Yeah, and he's a leader.
He's the leader.
Can do all that.
He's all of that. When it gets to week 5 and 6, where, your offensive line has got an injury or two, or you're a little banged up, and you've got somebody back there that's standing in cement, I'm not banging on Miles Brennan. I love his skill set, but there's some things that he can't do that you really need to have. And when Garrett Nussmeier can provide that, the offensive coaching staff and the head coach is going to be in a predicament where you're going to have to say, look, Miles, I know back in January and December, we had our conversation, but here we are in November and October, and we got to win games. And 5 gives us the best chance to do that right now.
Yeah. My only concern with Brennan is staying healthy. I think if he stays healthy, he's going to be on the field the entire time.
I agree with that.
And I think that does open and close the argument for a lot of people. If he's healthy,
he's in.
He's in. Yeah.
You have to take into consideration the amount of injuries.
Did
he's
Rico
had.
Allow you to speak?
Yeah, Rico. Thanks for cutting the mic on, brother. I'll catch you out there. What, you want Sonic? Is that where you want to go? But don't you think that obviously with Miles Brennan's past injury history, he has I don't know how much he's actually played football recently. So you have to think that, grease up the hinges. There's a little rust on the kid. So if he goes out there and spring ball and isn't that good, that's what opens up the door for competition, right? It might be as early as that because.
Well, I think that you have the luxury of kind of going through spring with Brennan as But
if he goes out there and look like
Coach, you can't
haven't thrown a football.
Coach, you can't threaten his job in spring. Then he hits the portal again.
Well, I don't think. I mean, you really think he hasn't thrown the football?
Well, no, I'm saying there's a difference between obviously going out in spring ball and throwing it around a little bit, but how many hits can he take? How does he feel? He'll never be 100% again. The guy had a surgery almost named after him. It's an unprecedented injury for a quarterback.
And that was 2 surgeries ago.
And that was 2
injuries
yeah,
ago.
Exactly.
Right.
So I'm just putting the question out there. There's a world where, they see him at practice I don't know if he really has the arm strength anymore. He isn't that guy that when you think about Miles Brennan, the first thing I think of is the Vanderbilt game. Whenever he Missouri game. Missouri is what I think of. That's probably the best he's played for LSU.
It was.
But that's everybody's memory of him. If he doesn't look like that, there's a world where
he threw for 1,100 yards in 3 games.
Yeah,
right, but he hasn't played.
He set a record.
Yeah,
he set a record for a starter in the first 3 games as far as his production. went. Like, I mean, I'm not trying to dump on him.
No,
you know what I mean. I'm really not.
Unfortunately, the other team's quarterbacks were breaking the record.
Exactly.
Right after.
Yeah. Right. Exactly. I mean, he was in a video game every week.
That I still remember. I can remember the days of Miles Brennan where it was. He's too skinny and he just needs to add weight.
I mean, Coach, do you remember when they put him in on the road against Alabama when he was a freshman?
Yes.
What he looked like? I mean, going back and looking at that film, like if I was his parents, I'd be a nervous wreck. I mean, he looks like a high schooler out there. He doesn't look like he's supposed to be out there.
He essentially was, right?
I mean, he really was.
And you got some NFL D tackles out there,
right? And probably barking at him, man. I mean, so what's the next couple of weeks like for you? It's not as crazy as it used to be, right?
Well, no. This, like I said, maybe they'll be in on. I think I count 6 or 7 high school kids, and let's say they get half of them. It'll be a lot of in-home visits. I'll have one official visit this weekend with Citizen. Then that next weekend they'll have a handful of guys in Matthews and some wide receivers, and wouldn't surprise me if a couple more guys. So that will be busy right before signing day in 2 weeks. But I think in terms of we're not going to do another like 7 days, 9 portal edition type thing. I think it's going to slow down a bit now because guys are enrolling in school. They found out who all they're getting back, and it's almost like this is when you reset the board. It's like, okay, we know who went pro, we know who's hitting the portal, we know who we got out of the portal, we have a good feel for who we're going to sign in February, and now you sort of pick the positions that kind of really need to address.
Hub International Insurance brings you the Jordy Culotta Show. They are located in Baton Rouge and United Plaza. You can get in touch with them today and ask them really about anything that your business can benefit from, like commercial property insurance, general liability insurance, professional liability insurance. All of those questions can be asked and answered today by a professional over at Hub International Insurance. You can get in touch with them directly by logging online to hubinternational.com or get in touch with them by dialing 225-218-2400, 218-2400 in the 225 area code right here in the listening area. We will turn over the set next and talk to Megan Making Money from the Acadiana area, from Lafayette. We'll ask her. She had the Tigers plus the 4 last night on the win. She texted me right before the game and said, what do you think about this bet? And I almost tried to talk her out of it, even through text, and she stayed with it. With the Tigers plus the 4.
Right,
she is on fire.
Earlier this week.
She's on fire.
She's sending Eric Gaines some of that money.
She better. Those 3-pointers that Gaines hit in the middle of that second half, bro.
Or the Alabama guys who missed the free throws.
Jeez. Yeah, boy, that was a.
Did you see was it number 0 or number 4 that got the ball in the second free throw, and as soon as it touched his hands, he gave a deep breath and he went, "Fuck."
Yeah.
Kind of like I don't want to be here right now.
The first guy missed an 89% free throw shooter.
Yeah. You saw Wade's reaction when he got fouled. He was kind of like his shoulders went down, like, no, don't foul him. Yeah.
I saw whenever the Bama board last night after they got the dub, and you would have thought that it was the exact same as the LSU board. And then you saw after the game, Oates was like, there was no pumping the crowd up. It was all right, Wade, hug it out. That was a truly one of those games of who can shoot themselves in the foot more, last. And it was. I mean, like Mikey said, Bama sitting there missing free throws at the end of the game.
They were 0 for 12 from 3 to start the second.
I don't think they made a 3 in the second half.
Well, I mean, overall they were like 9 of 34.
Yeah, they were
something stupid.
They were fine in the first half.
BG Lanois has a hashtag Ask Shea question.
Oh gosh, we got the Lanois all through here.
Shea, who can drink more margaritas at Superior? You or Emily?
Well, dude, Shea's a big red vodka guy.
I'd say the
same.
Big
Mar guy though too. Yeah. Big Mar guy.
How many can you put back?
2.
Can you go 2?
What? Yeah.
Wow.
I didn't say what I'm going to be like after.
Right. But I mean, 2 of those, and I'm either naked or passed out.
I mean, I didn't say
what I mean, or probably both. I mean, like in a street somewhere.
2.
I mean, 1.5, and I am the life of the party. 2, and I am dead.
Pass the threshold. Your threshold is 1.5.
1.5. And coach, that half is dangerous.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If like you've got an empty stomach, or if you've got your relief medding along with 1.5,
Twisted.
which I mean that's a guarantee.
It's hard for me to get down a whole one, to be honest with you.
Yeah, okay.
Not being drunk, but
don't be embarrassed to admit it. Don't be embarrassed to admit it.
I'm talking about
sugar.
I'm talking about the sugar. Yeah. Like I'd rather just give me whiskey
or the
straight,
$17.
It's a man who takes care of his body over there.
Right.
Yeah, right. It's a professional athlete.
Shea and I think that we're like, do you have sugar-free Red Bull? They're like, yeah, sure.
I'm watching my body. You got sugar-free
Meanwhile, the
Red Bull.
Dixons are in the back funneling them.
They get after it.
Really? That's bullshit, though. I think that's just a title.
I go full diesel. Oh, really?
Octane.
Possible snow on the horizon for tomorrow
Is that
and
really
later
gonna
this day.
happen?
I don't think so, but they're talking about it.
I'm
Does
gonna
that
get
keep you
de-iced.
out of Superior? No way.
No.
Maybe come more into
Yeah,
Superior.
right. Maybe earlier.
This is a rain or shine.
They enclose the outdoor. They enclose the outdoor.
Put a little heater in there.
I'm gonna have my. I have to fly
Shea,
out.
there was a lot of curiosity about a picture that Lloyd puts up when you come by here, and Lloyd, flash the Mardi Gras shot of Shea. We just need a
profile
little,
picture.
No, see,
just a little historic
I'm gonna-
background, if you don't mind. A lot of people think you're tripping
It
on
look-
acid in the picture.
no, this
Possibility.
is.
This is early. I mean, this is college days, Shea. So there is a possibility
I
of
wouldn't
that.
say it was college. This
Is it not college?
Well,
Last
let me
week.
see what year I start. I think whatever year Twitter I got on Twitter.
2010, I think. It
Yeah,
was.
so like let's see what.
Rico Delgado, hashtag Ask Shea. What the heck were you tripping on in that picture that Lloyd always uses?
2009. So that's been a long time.
Wow, 2009.
And Emily,
Little bug-eyed. Little
Emily,
bug-eyed.
Looks like he got shocked about the camera. He just
Emily's
figured out what it
always
does.
trying to get me to change it. So
Nice.
And I will be. Her birthday's coming up. She said even recently, she's like, for my birthday, just change your Twitter.
Wow, it's
Because
that big of an issue.
Well, then Lloyd's using it, and then when I'm going, everyone's grabbing it. And they're like, "Well, it's just his Twitter photo."
Oh, that's what it sounds like.
But I've always thought that subscribed to the thought like when you're on Twitter that like you just kind of like subconsciously or you just
You
see
have 43,000 followers, and that's your picture. That's awesome. You can't change it. It's too good.
Jimmy Magoo definitely tripping.
If I change it, then it looks. You know what I mean?
Where is that?
You
Where
can't
are
put
you?
into it.
Where
Is that
are
New
you?
Orleans?
Yeah, where are
That's
you?
got to be in New Orleans.
That's
That's
Rouge.
it. No, that's at a Huey's.
Spanish Town?
That's at a Huey's in Memphis.
Oh wow.
Wow, Beale Street.
That is. Yeah, I don't know if that's the Beale Street location, but that
Katie
is.
Yeah,
Coop.
she doesn't know where he is.
Katie
Katie
Coop.
Coop does get a lot of run.
Katie Coop gets
Katie
some lot-
Katie
gets some
Coop
love.
gets some run.
Katie's got a lot of
She
run
has.
for those people.
43,000 followers, averaging about 10 to 15 tweets a day. I
The-
mean,
the
she's
other
in
thing
front
is
of a lot
it's-
of faces.
It's supposed to be like the size of a penny, and now Lloyd has blown it up and put it on an 80-inch
That's
TV.
right.
Girl,
So
not a shower.
I mean, that is a policeman with the
Absolutely.
flashlight in your face, son. All right, have you been drinking? No, sir. I'm 2 mushrooms deep. Get that thing out of my face, for God's sake. I'm not microdosing. I'm macrodosing
Yeah,
over
your
here.
breathalyzer at
Yeah,
0.00. That's impossible.
John Smithsonian tripping real hard.
all that it really was going to take, not 10 years of my wife bitching about it, but was Lloyd zooming in on an 80-inch TV.
I give. I'm out. I'm out.
You
I'm
can't
out.
change
for
it.
God's
The
sake.
growth is
And now
perfect.
Lloyd's decided it's permanent.
It is. It's a perfect. I mean, to have that many followers and stick to who you are, you can't change it now.
Absolutely.
Don't fold to public pressure, dude. I'd have quit this job in a day.
Or your wife.
Yeah.
Lloyd said so.
Public pressure.
Yeah, right. See you at Superior this afternoon. It's great to see you here.
Okay.
If you wonder what people that ask questions.
Okay.
I'm just shook.
Shea Dixon, yes, you are. From Go 24/7. Megan making money next. Daily, we are brought to you by our friends over at Johnson Spillers. Johnson Spillers, it is time for me to get back over there. I'm starting to get some real weird looks with this front tooth that I got. It is starting to dominate people's conversation. I can see people kind of like...
Relief. The guy yesterday.
Yeah, you
brought
saw
it
him.
up. He brought it up.
Lionel Rainey at Relief Med. Get out of there, Lloyd. Get the fuck out of there, Lloyd. Lloyd, get out of there. Johnson Spillers, it is starting to take over. I'm ready for my implant, Dr. Johnson. Make me my appointment now. I will give up everything. I will clear my schedule. I'm getting funny looks at my front tooth. I need it fixed. Johnson Spillers, he is the only dentist that I would trust to make this change. The teeth implant, the tooth implant, everything from that to general dentistry, pediatric dentistry. JohnsonSpillers.com. We will talk to Megan making money, who is on she is scorching hot on a hot streak right now.
Someone call that a heater.
Scorching hot streak
Jesus.
right
Someone
now.
call that a heater.
For God's sakes.
Or crushing the apartment
Megan
for
making
you.
money next.
Jordy Culotta, you want to go today?
Setting the date.
Hebert's Specialty Meats, home to the finest boudin in South Louisiana. 2 spots right here in Baton Rouge and out in Prairieville. Stop in and see them in the Dutchtown Shopping Center on Highway 73 or right here in Baton Rouge on Jefferson Highway. Online, abearsmarkets.com, and they're all over social media. You can find them on Facebook. You can find them on Instagram. A-Bears combines perfect seasoning with that authentic Cajun flavor. Find out for yourself. Baton Rouge on Jefferson Highway and in Prairieville on Highway 73. abearsmarkets.com. True Blue Water. True hydration at its finest. Right now, you're only a few minutes away from getting your 5-gallon water delivered to you, just like we are over here at the UDL. All you got to do is log on to truebluewater.com. That's TRU, bluewater.com. The website's fantastic over at truebluewater.com. You can get your service and find out how quick it is. You can schedule a delivery, even hop on the billing system right there at truebluewater.com. TRU, bluewater.com. Go Chevrolet is proud to announce Go Express Auto Sales, the new used car lot located in the capital city of Baton Rouge, Louisiana, at 11522 Florida Boulevard. Go Express Auto Sales is online at goexpressautosales.com, or you can search them on Facebook and social media at Go Express Auto Sales, the newest addition to the family of Go Chevrolet. Remember, Go Chevrolet is located down in Laplace, Louisiana, but now welcoming aboard Go Express, the new used car lot located in Baton Rouge, Louisiana at 11522 Florida Boulevard.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You'll never have the sacred stone.
Oh, this you crazy mother.
All right, talking a lot about microdosing in the break there. Shea Dixon is in and out.
Really out the door.
Sprinting out of here.
He's back in.
Slamming the door on the way out.
I didn't say that.
We did cover some recruiting there. We appreciate Shea for being here on this Thursday morning. Ron Higgins for being here at hour number 1. And Megan Making Money, who... My girl is on a hot streak right now. I mean, if you are not keeping up with her bets... you are not a gambler, because she is making herself and whoever is out there a ton of cash because she is on a hot streak right now. What is it, 18 straight?
Oh.
No, she's laughing at that. It's not 18 straight.
I wish.
I know she did stick with LSU last night. I tried to talk her out of it, but she got LSU at +4. She knew Pinson was out of the lineup when that number was out there. That was that was right down to the end. I know that you were probably chewing fingernails, but that was a solid win for you last night.
Oh yeah, I was definitely sweaty looking. I'm sorry we didn't get the win. You know, we all wanted the win last night, but it's a little bit more important to me that I get the win in my book, and then I get my money back. So yeah, it was definitely sweaty there for a while, but thankfully Alabama couldn't hit a three, couldn't make a free throw. And we came back with some clutch threes there at the end to close that gap up. I mean, when I tell you, I was just pumped. I was screaming. That's why I sound a little hoarse, probably. Last night was definitely a fun night to be a Tiger fan that bets on them.
So Barstool Sports obviously hired you for your brand, and you had done a tremendous job of growing that and bringing recognition to what you were doing. But this is the real reason why they brought you aboard, because right now you are riding a hot streak in gambling that you can tell the country is paying attention to. What has the last week been like for you?
It's been great. I love it. The last 2 days, 6, 9, and 2. So that's. For me personally, it's been pretty nice, and everyone that followed me, it was the day I went 6-0. I had put 4 picks out and then added 2, but a lot of people parlayed the first 4 that I put out. So some guy put $2.13 on it in his account and turned it into 26. So we do that a couple of times, and we get a little bit of a bankroll. So I'm happy for it, And I told him we don't unit shame. So you could put $2, you could put $2,000, whatever you want to do. but just let's make the money.
Unit shaming's a thing. That's a big thing. You can't unit shame.
That's a big
people.
thing.
Yeah.
No, you can really hurt some people's feelings with unit shaming.
Yes, absolutely.
I heard Lloyd's all the time.
Why would you call me out on that, for God's sakes? Don't tell everybody.
Give me a second. I'm just building it up.
What is the scouting like for this? I mean, college basketball is a different animal. How are you watching and scouting these teams?
Well, a lot of it is numbers. I mean, as you know, I do have 2 kids. A lot of these smaller games are on during the day. So my 3-year-old, it's either I'm watching Paw Patrol or she has to sacrifice and watch me stream Chattanooga later. But it depends on how she, yeah, exactly. Mommy needs this. Hold on one second. So a lot of it's, I'm looking at numbers. Obviously, Ken Palm is a humongous factor. Yeah. He's he literally makes everyone else's lines and they follow him. And, there's a guy on Twitter, I got to give him credit. He does a great job at handicapping and making his own lines. Greg Peterson, G Unit, he's literally never sleeps. So that's another good source that I like to go to.
Greg Peterson sounds like the name too. G-Unit, right.
And then beat writers, right? For all of these smaller schools. So, I'm just depending on, whether it's COVID that obviously factors in, whether, injuries, things of that nature. But right now, these small schools, as I said, beat writers, looking just at the numbers, Ken Palm, G-Unit. And then with these big games, I tried just not to get trapped, right? So yesterday, obviously, that one was a little fishy, LSU being the better team, but Bama needed that win. So should I have covered that game? Probably not. And that's why today, I haven't touched Purdue, Indiana. That one seems really fishy to me.
Megan Making Money. You can find her on Twitter right there at Megan Making Money. And I know tonight SMU is at Memphis, and that number jumps off with Memphis giving up 6. You like that one, don't you?
Yeah, I like SMU there. SMU is the veteran team, and I think they're going to show up to Memphis and play like it. Memphis really hasn't had much continuity to their lineup. They have played several different lineups, and it shows in their record. I think they're 9-6. And I just think this is too many points. I think SMU can go in there and possibly pull up the upset, but I'm not taking them on the money line. The 6 is I'll happily take the 6 there.
Changing gears to football. What do you have for this weekend? I know it may be too early for you to
gotta hop
say.
on.
I haven't looked at football yet. We do a show, me and Kelly in Vegas. We do one on Mondays, Thursdays, and Fridays. Excuse me. So we'll have one today. We do college basketball today, and we give out our NFL picks or whatever at college whenever it's on. Obviously, on Friday. So okay. I will. If you watch Money Shots tomorrow,
I'll go watch Money Shots tomorrow for it.
It's a great game. We talked to John Stefanski, who is a politician from Louisiana. He was in our studio last week and said that mobile gaming should be complied and available Super Bowl weekend. How huge would that be for people in your industry and really our industry?
For me, it would be absolutely huge. We all need the Barstool Sportsbook app here. For example, I had this awesome promo running all during the NFL. I think the promo ended plus up 10 units, and every time you bet, you were able to get win or lose. You were able to get a piece of Barstool merch. So over 42,000 pieces of merch went out. A ton of bets went out, but none of it got to be us here in Louisiana. And I can only imagine the growth and the expansion of this Barstool and Barstool Sportsbook once we get that mobile app legalized. We need mobile so badly, especially with all of these different damn variants and shit. No one wants to go out and get sick, and I want to be able to spend my money at home. I think everybody else does too. We can buy anything else online practically, so why not give us that mobile now?
Absolutely. Get up to the state capitol and make sure that happens before the Super Bowl. At Megan Making Money, appreciate you. Next time you're in Baton Rouge, you're in the studio.
I'm down. I'm in.
All right. Thank you as always. Good luck.
Absolutely. Thank y'all.
There she is, Megan Making Money from Barstool Sports. Hit her up on Twitter at Megan Making Money and follow the picks. She's on fire right now. It's not 18 straight, like I said, Steven. Chill out. My bad. But it is 9-2 over the last 11, which is a great streak.
I don't want you some money.
Cajun Ready Mix Concrete, as we close out here today, Cajun Ready Mix Concrete, ready for your project, no matter if that is industrial, residential. Get in touch with a municipal. Cajun Ready Mix, CajunRMC.com is where they are online. They've got 9 locations around the greater Baton Rouge area of concrete plants, which means they can get their product to you on time to the exact specification. No matter if the project is big or small, they'll take care of you today. Get in touch with them. Cajun Ready Mix, Cajun RMC, CajunRMC.com.
Doesn't matter your unit size.
That's right.
Can they fix our parking lot, please?
Dude, Jordy almost beefed it. Like, talking about serious would have been a hospital visit, maybe.
Yeah.
Carrying that GD desk out of here.
Yeah.
And you know that little part?
What desk?
This corner desk right here.
Gone.
Right
yeah,
here.
they got scooped up real quick.
Yeah, 20 minutes.
I know.
Yeah.
But Jordy almost
somebody had to have
it.
some crackhead strength to pick that thing up, bro.
I thought Jordy
Those
started
are the people that
getting
are riding
guttural
around
with that
picking up
thing.
your furniture. So yeah, they're fine.
They got a desk now.
All right, we appreciate you being here today. As we said, we appreciate Ron Higgins, Megan Making Money, and Shea Dixon for being in studio today. Make sure to hit that like, share, comment button. Took and Mic'd Up back with you Monday at 11 a.m. Be looking out for content there. If you're not subscribed to the YouTube page, you can do that easily on the Jordy Culotta Show page. It's an easy link right there at Mic'd Up to subscribe. To Mic'd Up, as the numbers have been on fire. We appreciate that,
thank
man.
you. Put some comments. If you want to talk to, hear from someone. If you want me to see if I can get them, I'm not shy to ask. So.
Yeah.
Slide into Mikey's DM.
Slide into the DM.
That's what he's saying right now.
That's where it goes down.
Everybody have a great day. Stay safe out there. Stay warm. Ugh, gross.
Eesh.
Be cold.
And dry.
Wet work.